25 minutes to make a name for yourself like you never made before.
If he kicks his goal, Hawthorn are in the grand final.
Here is the magician at work.
He should kick it. Up he comes. He kicks on.
You've got to show me all the guts and all the determination you've got in your body. You've got to inspire me. At least you can come off and say, I did this, or I played on. At least I did something.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Graham Corns. Welcome to Footy Park. Cornsy, you spoke this morning, or you wrote this morning about when does a slump become a collapse. And for the Crows' point of view, tonight's the night. They have to win to have any chance at all.
Some games, Bruce, you just have to win. It doesn't matter who you're playing. It doesn't matter where you're playing. You just have to win or your season is dead. And it's that sort of scenario for the Crows tonight.
The West Coast, they broke their duck, so to speak. They'd lost 8 in a row. They won last week against Melbourne. And you look at the ladder, the surprising thing, Adelaide look a long way down, but if they won tonight, they'd actually have a chance of going above the Western Bulldogs because their percentage drop last night was significant.
Adelaide's percentage has always been a problem, Bruce. You think they're going to have to win one more game than the other teams around the 6th, 7th or 8th position to actually make it, unless they have a big win. But look, there's no excuse. You just have to win this game regardless of who they're playing.
There's an opportunity for them too. We talked about this last week, but the next 4 matches, including tonight, I guess you say 5, they're all winnable chances for the Crows.
And they've been talking about it around the club too. They made the point that these 4 games are winnable. The only problem is that they just have to address the next game in hand. You can't get too far ahead of yourself. But if they did win those 4, with 10 wins and a few games still to go, so that puts them right back in the hunt.
Good news for the Crows. McLeod is playing. There was a doubt. He apparently had a bit of a virus. There's their captain, Rashida. One change, Skipworth out and Robin's in.
Yeah, and that won't hurt them at all. Robin gives them a bit more balance. They are lacking height in their forward line. They still haven't got that structure correct, and Robin gives them that opportunity. We think he's starting on the bench, but I'm sure you'll see him in the forward lines at some stage.
West Coast form away from Perth has been ordinary. In fact, their last 4 have been dreadful. They've been thrashed in those matches. They've all been in Melbourne against strong opposition.
It's a different proposition here at Football Park. They've been here before. They've played pretty well. They've won. They'll feel a bit more confident. And there's no doubt their form last week gave them a real lift. So they might get some confidence back into them because despite their injury list, it has a lot to do with confidence as well.
They have a champion, don't they, in Ben Cousins, number 9 there. So do the Crows and Andrew McLeod. It'll be great to see if they run together at some stage tonight.
I don't think so. I mean, Gary Ayres will not let Ben Cousins run unchecked. His form has been so good. Despite the fact his team has been struggling, he's been the dominant player. Andy McLeod, under an injury cloud, under an illness cloud coming into this game, he's got other players around him, I guess, which probably helps him. And probably not as dominant as Cousins has been, but the team performance is more even.
Yes, you think Stengline's a man for Cousins, wouldn't you? What if goal kicking has been a problem for both teams? Adelaide are ranked 13th in offence. The West Coast Eagles are 16th. From last year, they just can't find the goals. They can't find the goal scorers they had last year.
Well, Scott Welsh hasn't played the last couple of games. Darren Jarman has been used in defence. Peter Vardy's been a bit inconsistent. I still think the structure is not right. They don't have enough balance of tall and small running players or crumbing players in the forward line, and they don't bring it in down the corridor. It still comes in too wide. The West Coast Eagles, Scotty Cummings has been restricted by injury. Philomatera still impresses me. I mean, his form last week was excellent. So both those players are particularly dangerous, but the key is getting the ball into the forward line with some system.
Graham, one other match tonight at the Gabba where Brisbane will be heavy favourites to win their 5th consecutive match. They play St Kilda. They could really make a challenge for the top 4 by winning tonight. We'll have scores and highlights of that game throughout our telecast. Not a bad crowd. It's a night that I think we'll get a bit of rain. King Curley's on the boundary line. The legend Kevin Bartlett's with us. The opening bout's coming up shortly.
7 Sport. Watch out. The AFL Premiership season. International Rugby Union. Bledisloe Cup. Tri-Nations. The Winter Olympics. World Figure Skating Championships. World Cup Aerials. The Davis Cup. Sports World. 7 has the Ashes Tour. Watch
hearts are blind and the starry skies above. Don't fetch me in. Let me ride through the wide open country that I love. Don't fetch me in. Let me be by myself in the evening breeze. Listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Send me off forever, but I ask you please. Don't fetch me in. Don't fetch me in. Don't fetch me in. Don't fetch me in. Don't fetch me in.
At these prices, don't miss being a part of the action at Repco.
Haynes Workshop Manuals, comprehensive range for popular Aussie cars, $35.99 each. Sound 4, FX40 CD player, $169. 60 watt two-way speakers, $29.95. MVP, chrome vanadium toolkits, 201 piece, $199. 155 piece, $119. New Sesame Street Elba and Cookie Monster range backseat buddies, $34.95 each.
At Repco, we know what it is, we know where it goes.
If your car is stolen, RAA Insurance will lend you a hire car for up to 21 days. Because they know life can be tough without a car.
This little boy is fighting for his life. He doesn't know Mummy's secret, that Daddy isn't there. It's a secret his life depends on. The man who could save him is a cold-hearted crim.
So you get to save your son's life.
William McInnes,
Police!
Martin Sachs, Tom Long.
He's dying, but he thinks Mummy's helping.
The sensational new Australian miniseries,
If you die, so does my son.
Do or Die, Sunday on 7.
Welcome back to Footy Park. See a bit of a breeze here. Now, Michael Gardner and also Travis Gasper, so in particular Gardner, out of the team, and coming into the team, Hum and Turnbull. So a couple of late changes for West Coast, so a bit of a body blow with Gardner out. Neil Curley's on the boundary line. Curls, we've had a bit of rain around town. What are the conditions like?
Well, we have. We thought it was going to be a terrible day here, or tonight here, but it's fantastic. The ground is dry. There is a pretty strong breeze going to the left of screen, which will favour, of course, the northern end. So I guess the winner of the toss will go that way. But the ground conditions are absolutely perfect. Of course, for West Coast, their live wire in the last couple of weeks, as we all know, has been young Cousins in the middle. Now, 22, Stingline will certainly pick him up and give him a very, very tough night indeed. And apart from that, of course, young Gardner being out should give Matty Clark, although this boy Cox is a big lad, Matty Clark should control the ruck work.
Thanks, Curls. There is Cox, who is a giant. Welcome, Kevin Bartlett.
Thanks, Bruce. Gee whiz, it's a team of no names, West Coast Eagles. So many injuries, and the loss of Gardner, who's had a fantastic season. I was looking forward to his contest tonight against Matthew Clark.
It's a good matchup, isn't it?
7 marks, but unfortunately Gardner is out, who's been probably their best player this year.
Peter Matera on Darren Jarman. That's one for the ages.
An extraordinary matchup.
So the Crows to the left of screen here. Well, Punda's on the wing with Smart right in front of us. He had a great game on Jeff Farmer last week. Clark to go against Cox. Clark just won it. Jones, who did a terrific job on Uzes in the centre square. Don't think Cousins actually started in the centre square. He's there now, number 9, and it'll be another ball up. Breeze going to the left, I would reckon. Curls will tell us more about that.
Yeah, definitely going to the left. Not a heavy breeze, but maybe a goal.
Adelaide with that advantage. Wapunda, such an important player tonight for them. Cox gets it back to their champion in Cousins, who arches his back in typical style and kicks the full forward. Bassett front spot. So good mark by Bassett. And then Ben Hart, who I thought had a terrific game on Chris Tarrant last week, kicks the ball wide. Stevens can't quite get it. It'll be a boundary throw in.
Well, it looks like Ben Hart is on Phil Matera. Bassett is on Scott Cummings. And Nigel Smart, as you mentioned, starting on the wing here on David Wurpunda.
It's always nice to see Bassett back in the side, Graham, because obviously when he's at his best and he's uninjured, he's a very important player. Hewitt kicks into the man. The Eagles coming off that win last week as McLeod comes away from the edge of the centre square. He's looking for Perry. He's got him. Can be an important player. Risciuto. There's a chance. Jarman. He's got Peter Matera picking him up. And Matera just tried to slide under the ball. Vardy with strength. He's taken over the line that time by Colliger for a toss back in.
It was a classic movement through the centre with the quick handball releasing the running player, and Gallagher, who's been really impressive since he's come into the team. Just look for the short option rather than going long to the goal square with the breeze behind him.
Yes, he looks like he could be a player, young James Gallagher. And Williams has got the job picking up Risciuto as well. There's a chance for Colliger, gives it away. Callum Chambers, just a young man trying to make his mark. Just tracking the boundary line. Kells told us there's been a bit of rain, so the ball didn't bounce up. Colliger goes deep into the forward line, some pushing and shoving. Cummings was looking for a free kick. Bassett is very quick, does well. His partner in crime is Hart, and he pumps the ball wide.
Hart's been given the job on field material, which is interesting, and Evan Hewitt's playing down back on Miranda, so a couple of changes for the Crows, and the ball out of play. So Graham, Hart on material is an interesting one.
Well, he's got the pace to go with him, and you'd think his height and size just might intimidate Phil Matera, but he has to keep himself between him and the goals at all stages, because Phil Matera is very, very clever, and he will slip out the back, and he knows where the goals are.
Cousins playing at half forward at the moment, and Stingline with him. Risciuto's kick wobbly, Kerr and Gallagher on one another. Edwards' handball was good. It releases Smart on the burst, goes towards goal. Jarman on the lead, got him. Terrific build-up, that one. They broke the line, didn't they?
Well, they've given him some room, that's the thing, and West Coast have not flooded back. You see how much room Darren Jarman's got out to his right-hand side, and that's where a forward loves to have it. He leads to the right, so when he turns around, he's on his right kicking foot to bring the ball back in. The breeze over his right shoulder. Well set up by Adelaide.
Kicked 6 last week, 5 of them at this end in the second quarter. I think he's missed, and he missed 3 in the second half, so that's not a great start. He would kick those, you'd reckon, I don't know, 8 out of 10 at least.
Well, he reached for it. That was he's got such a beautifully balanced kicking style, but with that one, he was reaching forward, searching for it with his boot. It didn't come off the boot well at all.
So here's the famous man on man.
Well, you see the huddle, looking for Smart, chipped in, Fletcher. Start in the centre square, chance now for Wirrapunda. Such an important player for the Eagles. Out in front. He's looking for Embley, one of their young guns. Just hoping he'll take that big step. Hart, always clever across half-back. As Graham Thorne says, got the job playing on Phil Matera's Wirrapunda. Pumps the ball back towards centre-half forward. Magnificently read by McLeod. And straight away, drills the ball back and finds Vardy. From the front edge of the centre square, Jarman still tracking the square. Chance for Perry. He's a good 60 metres out. Jarman's in the square, indicating kick the ball long.
Gee, with the breeze, Kevin, I reckon it's worth the chance. He's a left footer. Get it up high, get some boot on the ball.
No, Graham is going across a bit. Won't favouring the breeze.
A young man from East Perth. It's going to drop short. And chipping in and taking the mark is Jakovic, who heads straight for the line for a boundary throw-in.
Played well last week, Jakovic, on Swartz. He's been struggling. He's not quite the champ that he was, there's no doubt about that, since the knee. But he's still a colossus.
Bruce, I've got the feeling this could be a shootout here tonight. I can't see any form of flooding at this stage. They're going man on man and having a real go.
Thanks, Neil. So curls on the boundary line. Stingline, good little give to McLeod. Finds some space. Left foot, not bad. It's a chance. It's going all the way. It's a goal. No, it's a free kick. Is it for Matera? No, it's a goal. It's a goal.
On Today Tonight, Adelaide's biggest dole bludger. Years of phony job applications.
You don't want to talk to us?
Showing others how to fool the system.
I mean, it's outrageous.
Plus, how fair is this? 2 schoolgirls, 1 white, 1 Aboriginal. She flies home free.
It's just ridiculous.
While her mum must drive because she's white.
Pretty disappointing.
Even when there's a spare seat on the plane.
You don't count.
And both families say it's crazy. Next week on 7.
Andrew McLeod, who's been picked up by Fletcher, has drawn first blood for the Crows. What a great player he's been over the last 4 seasons. 3 times runner-up in the best and fairest for the Crows. The other occasion, the winner. Clark, 3rd in the league with tap-outs, been sharked by Fletcher, so he pumps the Eagles. Inside 50, Bassett playing in front of Cummings, who last year booted 14 goals against the Crows. And the West Coast won by 100 points plus. That was in round 4. Things have certainly turned around. Bickley squeezes along the boundary line and finds Clark. enjoying a good season. Struggled last year with his studies, but seems to be back to his best. And his best was very good for the Brisbane Lions. Packer players, Williams at the bottom, and that's a ball up. It's on the half-forward flank for the Crows.
And it's not a bad start for the Eagles. That breeze is going across the ground, but it's definitely favouring Adelaide. And if the West Coast Eagles can keep the ball out on that side, it won't make for a pretty game, but it just restrict Adelaide's scoring chances.
Young Cox has got a big job tonight. Risciuto with strength. Just couldn't quite get the handball away.
Graham, I think you'll find 80% of the game will be out, or the play will be out that side.
Yeah, I just think the coaches have to make an effort get the guys to make an effort to bring it grandstand side, because it's going to make scoring so much easier. It's a defensive side out there. That's where you'll keep it if you're defending, but if you want to attack, bring it this side.
Taylor, he was legged. There was no free kick. Pulled off the ball was Kerr. Going in hard also is Embley. And again a ball up. So it's pretty tough on the outer side of the ground. And you're right there, Graham. If the ball keeps out there, it's going to be very difficult to score. We saw with Perry's kick, when you're kicking into a breeze that's coming across your body, it can be very, very difficult.
So Clark and Cox reminding you that Gardner out of the team. Turnbull's come in for him. Cousins and McLeod. Good check on McLeod. Whipped it off him. Stinglon on the up to Smart. Smart, short, beautiful stuff. Second time he's hit Jarman. Lace out tonight.
Well, they're giving him space. Just watch this. He's got space. Darren Jarman just leads straight. Nigel Smart drops it on the boot. Hardly touches it. Just put it in the air. He ran onto it.
So you wouldn't think he'd miss two, would you?
Oh.
He's got it. It's a goal.
At Mitre 10 right now, our July hot deals are too hot to handle. With an ever-ready Dolphin torch, just $11.95. An NRG 900-watt compound mitre saw, only $99. A 16-pack of R3.3 pink bats, only $39.95. Or a Click 25-metre heavy-duty extension lead with bonus powerboard, just $19.95. So hot-footed into Mitre 10, because these hot deals won't last long.
Mitre 10, out of 10, save you more.
Well, he's batted 14 goals for the season. Of course, 6 last week.
Graham, is that a change? Is that Wirrapunda picking up McLeod now?
Well, he started on Nigel Smart.
Fletcher had McLeod at the opening bounce, Curls.
I think Wirrapunda's going now half forward.
He has too, yep.
It's going to be tough for Peter Materia, because it appears to me that the Crows are going to look for Darren Jarman. They've made him the go-to man, no doubt about that. I don't know whether Peter's played at full-back on many occasions. This man is a fantastic player. Ben Cousins goes wide. He's looking for Cummings, needs a kind bounce. Does a 360. It's a centering kick. Miranda.
It was great team play with the centering of the ball. Miranda had run so strongly from the centre into the space. He lost Evan Hewitt, who is his immediate opponent. But see, the kick is perfect.
Well, he's a very handy player, Mark Miranda. He had a lot of injuries with the Tigers. Virtually went a couple of years without playing a game. Just trying to rebuild his career after those groin problems. Directly in front, should kick a goal and hammers it through.
It's a slightly unusual matchup, I would have thought, Kevin. Evan Hewitt on Miranda.
I'm very surprised with that one, Graham.
But Scotty Cummings, he looks, left foot just puts it in the air, and what you didn't see there is Miranda had run so strongly, he actually had to stop and come back. But he still had time and he still had space. Oh, keeps the Eagles in touch.
Graham, I know it's early days, but I think Ken Judge will be very happy with that matchup.
13-6. So a good goal into a slight breeze, a tricky night. We're into the goal scorer. Risciuto, collected Wirrapunda. And now Goodwin, first time we've really seen him. Good kick to Johnson, who had a terrific match last week. He started forward last week and then worked into the midfield, and he just couldn't hold what would have been a very, very good mark.
Change is being made here, Graham.
Burn on for Hewitt.
Yeah, fair enough. They've reacted pretty well, and James Byrne, a more mobile half-back line player who likes to run, though.
Just interesting, they wanted to play Hewitt down back, so a change in philosophy on Hewitt, who hasn't been able to make a mark. Cousins hooks it out the back, almost to the line. Colliker, Stenglein gives away a silly free kick. And Colliker was gone, couldn't go anywhere, and Stenglein puts his knees into him.
He's had a good year, Colliker. He's been most impressive in a generally disappointing West Coast lineup, but he's one young fellow that can really hold his head high.
Played every game. Ken Judge likes him, I think. He coached him at Hawthorn. Cox, Clark, Djakovic, and I reckon the mark coming from the side to Carroll, but no, it's going to be ball up, I think.
Gee, I'd like to see that again. Just watch the replay.
So, Carroll coming down. Clark did have fingers, but thought Carroll might have claimed it. Ball up.
Kevin?
I would have paid him the mark. Cox. Be interesting to see how he goes tonight with Gardner out, because it's going to be a big job against Clark, who's in such good form. 2-1-13 the Crows. West Coast, one straight goal. Stenglein. Very handy player, Stenglein. I've seen him a few times, and he's a bit taller than what you think he is, isn't he, Graham?
He's played centre-half forward at Port Adelaide. He's played on the wing. He's played at full forward. Now he's got the tagging run-with role. He's so adaptable.
Chambers pumps the ball back. Chance for Kerr. Beats Gallagher. Back to Djakovic. Hammers the ball back towards centre-half forward, playing in front Miranda. Now Burns just come onto the ground for that matchup. And it's a ball up 65 metres out from the Eagles' goal.
And well done the package, as his teammates call him. James Burney was right alongside.
That Cousins off?
Cousins off.
I think he needs a bit of treatment.
Cousins off and limping too.
And young Munro has come on. So there's a body blow to the West Coast Eagles. He was magnificent last week, Ben Cousins, as he has been all year. So we can see a change of boots.
Interesting that. He might have had a nail, Kev.
rubbers don't have nails, Graham.
Oh, these young players don't know what it's like to play with a nail sticking in your foot. Embley.
Oh,
too strong. Cummings.
I've got to say, Nathan Bassett did nothing wrong there. He plays in front, as he always does. Just he nudged under the ball here, and Scotty Cummings, one hand, drags it in.
Well, he's been very accurate this year. He's booted 13 goals for. And when he's at his best, he had those two stellar games last year, 14 goals against the Crows, 14-1 from memory.
So
10 goals in another game.
Nathan Bassett had a handful of Guernsey too.
They've opened a lot of confidence, West Coast.
Well, it's marvellous what a win will do for your Curls.
Yes.
Win last week over Melbourne. Scott Cummings, you can see there, great camera shot directly behind, should kick a goal. Straight through the centre.
Good start for Cummings. Cousins back on, by the way, with new boots. So Cummings giving one goal off to Miranda and kicking the other. And West Coast within a point. Clark gave the free kick away. Stenglein gives it to Edwards. And Edwards on the left, out very wide. This should be the attacking side. Johnson almost on the line. Well done to Vardy. Got a high tackle, I thought. No free kick. Bit stiff. Quick kick along the line by Williams. Miranda, early goal will do him a lot of good. Burn. Boundary throw.
That was a magnificent leap by Matthew Clark at that centre bounce.
His rucking form has been good. James Byrne's been given a job, hasn't he? He's obviously been told to stand alongside him.
So Cox and Clark get a good view here. Cox to the front. Cousins, Stenglein, Fletcher. Now Taylor hooking back to about 65 metres. Embley and Stevens. Well, interesting, they both sort of had a hold of one another, but Stevens' free kick. Embley kicked 4 last week. Some of them outside 50. Cummings comes onto the mark, so Embley's away. Stevens, who had the wrong matchup with Clement last week and was taken from the ground. And the kick, pretty defensive, wide, a good one and a boundary throw.
We do recommend keeping it grandstand side, but probably not quite as wide as this.
So Clark and Cox to do battle.
There's all one-on-one matchups. We
Got a
see
worm's
Rowan
eye.
Jones picking up Goodwin.
Got a worm's eye here.
Williams got Rashudo. So it does appear they've just prioritised each opponent, the West Coast Eagles tonight. And Cousins on screen, Rowan Jones.
Ken Judge will be very, very happy with this opening.
It's the way both teams have played, though. Gary Ayres has preferred to go one-on-one.
Well, they've got a lot to play for tonight. The Crows game and percentage out of the top 8, but a win tonight, if they can win maybe by 6 or 7 goals, they just might be in the top 8. Hart with those dancing feet and the pace finds Clark. That was quick hands. Tyson Edwards just weaved his way out of trouble. He's looking for Perry. Nearly slapped on. Taylor just grubbed the ball back. It's been pinched. Tyson Edwards drills the ball, getting across in front. That was Colliger. Got a fist to the ball. Trying to break through, can't do so as Carroll is taken over the line.
Just Michael Colliger in a position to mark then, and safety first. I just wonder whether that's a lack of confidence with the team at the moment. Look, play safety first, nothing wrong with that.
I couldn't believe that.
But take the mark if you can.
He's coming across the front, wasn't he? You might have just thought he was just caught out of position. Vardy just tried to drag it back. Kicked off the ground by Colliger, so again a toss back in. Bit of Vardy on screen. Can be a damaging player.
Gee, the centre's wide open for a rebound here by West Coast.
He had 16 goals this season, Peter Vardy, but he can be an explosive player, impact player. There he was, just didn't quite take the ball with him that time. It's a bit of an Indian arm wrestle, and it's a ball up 40 metres out from goal.
There's the Crows in the bench, so interchange. So Robin, Gallagher and Hewitt we can see. And the other one, Ben Marsh. So tall interchange, Marsh and Robin in particular. Clark, Cox doing all right, and Wapunda goes to the line and finds it. McLeod just going the wrong way there. Tap not being able to get to him.
If it's an arm wrestle they want, it's an arm whistle they're getting the West Coast Eagles, I would think that would suit them better than Adelaide. If they can keep it tight, contained.
Cox and Clark. Clark started pretty well, but as Kevin said, big chance for Cox tonight with no Gardner there. Turnbull to back him up. Well played Colliger against Vardy. And then Taylor just finds a way through, but he may have kicked us out. No, he didn't. He does in the end, but not on the fall. So that's the result he wanted. Another boundary thrown. So it ain't pretty, is it, at the moment? That's for sure. It was early. The Crows started well, and West Coast have looked dangerous when they've got it to Cummings tonight. He looks in pretty good nick, Cummings. So Clark and Cox again for the umpteenth time in this opening quarter. Good, well, missing Bickley. Now to McLeod. It's in the right hands. Jarman works to the front of Matera. Matera did pretty well. Vardy across the front. Gallagher with a chance. It'll go through. It's a goal.
Having a new car warranty means what goes gets fixed. But you have to go back to the dealer for servicing, or your warranty goes. Right? Wrong. UltraTune can service your new car from day one, and your warranty keeps running as smoothly as your car. UltraTune, in tune with you and your new car, and your warranty at 15 RAA-endorsed locations.
And that young man on screen, he'll be very happy with himself. He's came off the rookies list.
And played like he's been destined to be there ever since he was playing footy at a junior level.
That was his first goal in AFL football too. So the Crows go forward. Colliger takes a chest mark. I think Peter Matera might be wise to play about 2 metres in front of Darren Jarman, because they are going to look for him. Wapunda heads for the line, and Miranda, too much carry.
And Adelaide have cleared pretty much the 50-metre area out, so it's going to be difficult for any defender to stop Darren Jarman when he's got that much space.
And of course, if he plays in front of Jarman, he's then got the ability, if they win the ball, he can run on and receive, and he just might make Darren chase him a little bit. Johnson in front. Wapunda, clever enough to get his foot to the ball and gain, kicks for touch, and does it well. 19 plays 12.
Sorry, Kevin, it seems though Warapunda's job is pick McLeod up when he's resting forward and go to the wing when he's playing on the ball.
Cox and Clark. Risciuto with strength. Just try to bang the ball forward. Chambers, good enough to get a foot to the ball. Bickley showed a lot of courage. Chambers again. Pinched it. Burns was involved as well, so smart. They'll come away and Risciuto will bang the ball long. Jarman versus Matera. Matera now with the extra pace. Safety first. Puts it back over the line, hits the goalpost for a behind.
Darren Jarman's complaining about something. It's almost as though that's a deliberate... you're allowed to do that,
I think
Darren.
he thought he was manhandled in that contest.
Interesting, isn't it? Two of the great consummate midfielders when they were at their peak, weren't they? Matera's a wingman, Jarman, two of the great... I remember you saying one stage, Kevin, he's the best goal-kicking wingman you'd ever seen, Peter Matera.
Yes, I've always believed he's the best goal-kicking wingman. He kicked 5 goals in a grand final. You got him playing on a man who kicked 6.
Yeah, while you've been talking, Adelaide's one-on-one on the kick-off has worked because the ball's coming back into the full forward area.
Johnson's kick not great, and no contest from Perry or Jarman against Jakovic. And Jakovic out wide finds Carroll. We'll stop reminiscing, Cornsey, I promise you, and we'll keep calling.
Well,
the kick out wide to Miranda.
Pretty important, that, because it's the first time it's worked for a while.
Miranda's left foot. Jones underneath. Well, he just didn't have enough confidence really to make it his. And then Goodwin hooks back. Not a great kick. Wapunda reading it beautifully as he does. And he just sets it up here. And they're away. The Eagles lost a boot here, Cousins. His left boot has come off. He kicks it with that foot. And not a good one. And Hart, who's in spectacular form early, has taken the mark. He's having a terrific opening turn. Bickley away. Kicks the half forward. Perry on a long leg. Doesn't affect the mark. Well played, Jakovic, hooks it out the back. The race on, Vardy, clever, good play, back to the room.
Rusciuto does like to kick the ball long. You can see they've prioritised Jarman, especially inside 50. Now they start to feed back. It's a high ball. Matera takes the front position. Junglin's got it. Well, Matera did everything right. He ripped, the kick was dropping short. It just had a bit of carry on the ball. And have a look at the grin on the face of Darren Jarman. Hit him on the head.
Yeah, but you can imagine Darren Jarman in a slips cord like a Mark Ward. They've got the presence not to chase the ball.
Soft hands.
Soft hands and let the ball find the hands. There's a big difference rather than trying to chase the ball and actually you end up knocking it away. He's got such ball sense.
The idol of Football Park, 40 metres out. Darren Jarman, the Roar will tell the story.
Every cigarette is doing you damage. Every time you inhale, tobacco smoke condenses in your lungs to form tar. This is a healthy lung. And this is the amount of tar a pack-a-day smoker breathes in every year. Every cigarette is doing you damage.
So 3 shots for Darren and a couple of goals. A terrific start. And they just sneak away again, don't they? They're 4-2 now. Stenglein doing really well out of the centre. Vardy, oh, terrific, good one. It was a wonderful take. Kicks the ball out under pressure. Wapunda will get there in front of Johnson. And then looks for a free kick. Doesn't quite get it. Backing up Carroll. His kick back to centre wing. Oh, Burns took a beauty. He looked in reasonable nick, Cornsey, last week when he came on, didn't he?
And this role suits him, I think.
Kicked the centre-half forward by Rusciuto. Again, Wapunda, who's just mopping up continually. Lovely kick out wide to Cox. Say lovely, it didn't quite get him, but I thought it was in the run, but Cox couldn't quite make a boundary throw in.
Bruce Hume replaced Kerr just a second ago.
Thanks, Curl. So young Daniel Kerr off, and Jeremy Hume has come in for Gasper. Gardner replaced by Turnbull. A couple of late changes for the Eagles. Here's Cox, almost getting to the line. Well played, Bickley. He's won a free kick. He did that cleverly because the ball was so close to out. Uses Hart. Hart getting a lot of it early. Running off field, Matera. Goes to Jarman and Peter Matera. This time, Peter Matera can't quite mark it. McLeod can't quite get it. High tackle, surely. Crows free kick to Vardy.
Peter Matera, I'd like to see that again. I thought he may have held that mark, Rome.
No, he dropped a mark. We didn't see that, but he bounced off his chest, hit the ground when he hit the ground. But gee, that's... Oh, he's a bit unlucky. He's attacking the ball. Vardy had his head over the ball. You've got to stay away from the head. He was so determined to make up for the mark that spilled.
Well, perhaps annoyed that he hadn't been paid because he went in very hard, didn't he? It was a touch-and-go mark decision. Well, Vardy, he sprays them a bit. Had 6 shots for goal last week and kicked 2.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're never wrong, are you?
Well, Bruce. Sorry about that, but 4-3 to 2 goals. But the Crows have enjoyed a good patch here. They've been able to put a couple together.
It's just unfortunate, the Eagles, when they've won the ball across half-back, they've looked immediately for the boundary line rather than try to move the ball from defence with some system.
Peter Matera goes long and wide, finds Jakovic. So they run hard from half-back. And Cousins sees the ball over the line in front of his shadow in Stenglein.
And that's a reasonable matchup at the moment.
Ben Hart's had a big game so far, his 8 possessions, and Phil Matera yet to touch the ball.
Cousins, 3 kicks, 1 handball.
Rashudo's had an impact in this first quarter as well. Clark. They really did lock horns. Taylor did well, pinched it, wobbles it forward. Miranda playing in front. Inside 50. Cummings stands his ground. Bassett, the big punch from behind. Stevens is caught. Loose ball. Chance for the Eagles. Just a bit of torque is needed. Embley can kick a goal. Quick snap. He's got it.
Gee, it wasn't convincing with it, but I guess that's the crowd reaction. Now, there's something about this kid, Andrew Embley. I mean, when I say he's a kid, he's not particularly young, but 20 years of age. He's not old. But there's something about him. He's got a presence about him. He finds the ball. He disposes of it really well. And whilst he's inexperienced, I think he's going to be an important part of this Eagles lineup for a while.
But Stevens tried to take Cummings on, and Cummings did really well to hold him up, didn't he?
Good tackle. You like to see your forward line players holding the ball in there.
I think if Stevens had another crack, he might have conceded a behind even from that far out. Clark doing wonderfully well here. Crows winning the centre clearances. Wurpunda upended. McLeod having a very big first quarter. Banging to centre half forward. Front spot there was Goodwin. Smart with a real chance. Left foot won't be a goal. Perry and Jakovic. And a behind.
Yeah, good contest that. Jakovic and Perry.
Smart doing pretty well early off the wing.
I think the West Coast have got to get a player on the defensive side at the centre bounce, because Clark is a great leaper at that centre bounce. This is amazing to see this huddle now, isn't it, with a one-on-one.
Taylor the target. They get out wide to him.
Taylor come off a good game last week. 2 Hawthorn players came across. Colliger and Taylor, the joint Ken Judge. Miranda just tried to tickle the ball up. Burns had it. Been held up. They want a free kick. They'll get a ball up.
Kevin, everybody else has had their say about the Adelaide strategy on opposition kick-off, the one-on-one, which creates the huddle. What do you reckon?
Well, I haven't seen the Crows do it a lot myself, because I haven't seen too many games from the Crows, but I suppose the general feeling is it's pretty hard to stop a player, have all that space if he's got pace to sort of come away from the huddle. As long as the kick is out in front, I think it'd be pretty hard to stop. If you haven't got any outriders, which seems to be one way of stopping it. Tyson Edwards with pace. Kicks the ball long. Goodwin played in front. Hit the ball hard. Chance now for the Crows. They'll set it up. Goodwin with clean hands. Finds young Gallagher coming up for his second goal. 45 metres out. Jarman. Not quite seeing where he thought it was going through.
He looked like he tried to shepherd it, didn't he? He really did look like he was going to shepherd it.
So 9 shots to 3 here. Kane Johnson, a couple of terrific gives on the far side of the ground a moment ago. Punda's the first to go, but McLeod chasing.
He wouldn't take Andrew McLeod on.
Exactly. So Peter Matera's done the right thing. He's come wide to Cox. Quarter time. Interesting quarter, wasn't it? 4-5-3 goals. I think the scene's been set, Cornsey.
West Coast Eagles can be reasonably satisfied. They had enough of the ball. Adelaide had the breeze. They haven't done too much damage on the scoreboard to them, so Ken Judge will be looking for an all-out attack for this quarter, and if they can head Adelaide going at half-time, gives themselves a chance.
Well, that's a possibility, because at quarter-time they trail by just 11 points. Crows 4-5 to 3 goals. Jarman's kicked a couple. He's played pretty well. Missed one early, but he's done well. McLeod and Gallagher, the other goal scorers. Cummings, Miranda, Embley, the goal scorers for West Coast. It's 29 to 18.
Sevens Football Telecast. Proudly brought to you by West End Draft. West End, your thirst. McDonald's incredible family meal deal. And Mitsubishi Motors. Driving your world.
Tonight's 7 News weather update comes to you. Hello again. It'll be cold tonight with morning frosts and fogs. Then showers along the southern coast and interiors will move further south tomorrow. On local waters, southerly winds of 10 to 15 knots at times with seas around 1 metre. In the city, another cold night down to just 7, and for tomorrow, cloudy periods with a shower or two and a top of 14. Looking ahead, cool and partly cloudy days with tops in the mid-teens. Enjoy your evening. See you tomorrow night.
Oh, give me land, lots of land, and the starry skies above. Don't fetch me in. Let me ride through the wide open country that I love. Don't fetch me in. Let me be by myself in the evening breeze. Listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Send me off forever, but I ask you please. Don't fetch me in. Don't fetch me in. Don't fetch me in. Don't fetch me in. Don't fetch me in.
It's been a tough match, but at the business end, there's no stopping them. They're looking the goods. Oh, beautiful tap on. They're away. This is sensational to watch. A real premiership performance.
Golden draft, thanks.
We're trendy. We're traditional. We're leather. We're recliners. With stock ready to go now at the lowest price or it's free. Discount Lounge Centre, Ranella, Parafield and Keswick.
The Swimming Pool and Spa Association Expo is on until tomorrow. If you're serious about a pool or spa, then you'd better get to Wayville. The Swimming Pool and Spa Association Expo will cover everything, including all the latest pool and spa equipment. Last day tomorrow, Wayville Showgrounds, pensioners and kids free.
Interest-free? No deposit? Sensational Lacour news! It's no deposit and interest-free on $10 million worth of furniture, bedding, carpet and rugs. Lacour news interest-free and absolutely no deposit on now.
The Commonwealth Government is putting together a great health system for all Australians. We're committed to Medicare, and it remains the cornerstone of the system. The ongoing 30% government rebate has made private cover affordable for more Australians. While lifetime health cover rewards people who take out hospital cover early and keep it. But until now, there's been one thing that has worried people about private insurance. The gap. The cost of doctor's services in hospital not covered by your private insurance. We're now helping to close the gap, which makes private cover even better value. By encouraging more people to join private hospital cover, we're restoring balance to the health system and making sure that everyone is getting the best possible cover.
Authorised by the Commonwealth Government, Canberra.
Quarter time here at Footy Park. Good quarter. Crows lead by 11 points, 4-5 to 3 goals. Jarman, the multiple goal scorer. The other game of the Gabba, Brisbane and St Kilda tonight. Quarter time there as well. Bradshaw starting really well. He was terrific last week when he got 5. He's got 3. And the Lions lead 4-6 to St Kilda 2-4.
The AFL, in association with its premier partner, Carlton and United, proudly presents the 2001 Premiership season.
Well, there's Kenny Judge with the Eagles. Crows have dispersed. Graham, it'll be interesting to see if the Eagles in Adelaide set up any differently going the opposite way. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot in the breeze, does there?
Gee, I just felt the Eagles, when they won the ball across half-back, which they did pretty well, Adelaide went into their forward 50 17 times just before goal, so the Eagles won it. They were looking for the boundary line. They weren't looking to rebound. Now, they cannot make that mistake this quarter with a breeze behind it, and it is a significant breeze, even though it's across the ground. They have to look to attack down through the centre or even slightly to this side of the ground, but they've won enough of the ball.
So Jarman and Johnson. So Johnson again playing forward with Perry. And Cummings, who we were talking off air, looks in pretty good nick, Graham Cummings, doesn't he? Every time he's gone for the footy tonight, he's had a reasonable result.
Yes, his body's so strong. He's surprisingly quick for a big man. He looks like he's injury-free. fitness has always been a bit of a worry, but you get the impression under Ken Jones that he really has worked hard.
Probably the move that's worked best for the Crows is Ben Hart on Phil Matera.
Yeah.
So let's see if they try to defend Clark here, as Kevin suggested, because Clark has been dominant in the ruck. Second quarter about to start. Adelaide have had the best of the centre square, but on the board only lead by 11 points. 9 shots to 3. So start of the second term, Clark wins it again. Jones has got a run with job tonight again. Ball out wide. Taylor's quick kick along the line to Kerr, to Williams, to Miranda, who looked pretty sharp in the opening turn. Shirley was good. Cut it off to Byrne, to Rasciuto. Goes long to Johnson. Not really a marking forward. And that's a good grab by Carroll at the back. He's got a bit of weight and height on Johnson. And forces wide to Cousins. That's a free kick. Stenglein coming in. Cousins one-handed. Didn't actually take the mark, but Stenglein cleaned him up, and Cousins at half-back.
Well, he made him earn it. There's no doubt about that. And it's a free kick.
So Ben Cousins, what a month of footy he's had. Captain, co-captain with Dean Kemp, but huge doubt about Kempy's future, obviously. Out wide to Wapunda, who had a terrific quarter in terms of possessions. He had 7 kicks in the opening quarter. What a talent he is at 21 years of age. Short, back to Cousins. So not much happening here. They're trying to set it up. Dangerous kick here across the ground, and Edwards, poor handball, put Gallagher under the pump, but they get it back okay, the Crows. Shirley pumps the ball forward. Jarman caught out of position, did very well as a spoiler. Colliger did all right, gets it back to Cousins, over the top to Fletcher. Now they go to Wapunda.
Chance for Wirapunda, comes away from half-back. I think Peter Matera looks better playing in front of Jarman. Phil Matera, that's his first touch.
It was a beautiful kick from Wirapunda. He's got it again.
That's a poor kick. Back to Wirapunda, put him under all sorts of pressure. Gallagher runs hard, an impressive young player. The handball came from Bickley. The half-forward line, Vardy had 2 to beat. Jakovic just weighing up his options.
Too much indecision between Jakovic then. He really got to move the ball quickly.
Shirley from the edge of the centre square to centre half forward. Loose ball. Carroll is caught. Great tackle by McLeod. Cox had to pull his kick, did it well. Goes wide and finds Jones, comes away from half back. Pumps the ball back towards the half forward line. Again, there was help. Was Miranda. Must be paid the free kick. Goes short, Wirapunda. So Wirapunda, and now he's called it back. Can be so lively, Mark Miranda. They can get the ball quickly into their forward line. Inside 50. Big fist came away. That was from Stevens. Chance now for Cox. Maybe too far out to score. But the young man goes short. Looking for space. Williams needs a kind bounce. Gets it. 35 metres out. Cummings.
Oh, off his chest.
Drops it. And kicked off the ground and forced through by Rasciuto.
Well, he was stumbling for it. There's no doubt about that, Scotty Cummings. Just watch, you can see him crawling on his knees. Oh, it's hit in the head too.
Yeah, free there.
Stevens receives from Hart. Just waits the handball to Shirley. Comes away from half back. Edge of the centre square. High flyer that time was Colliker. Pouncing on it is Carroll. Former captain of the under-18s in WA. Looks like he's got a lot of ability. Played with the Dockers. Jakovic comes away, sets it up. Finds young Kerr. Look really sharp, the West Coast.
It's just not taking...
This is where they're slowing it down.
It's too slow. You've got to get in quickly.
Miranda's the target. Make that Wirapunda. He's marked in front of McLeod.
It's almost as they don't want to go down the centre and they don't want to go into their forward 50.
Well, this would take a mighty kick. He's got the breeze coming across his body. The lead is on Matera. Too much carry on the ball and thumped back over the line by Hart.
You'd think with Cummings and Phil Matera full forward that...
Get in quickly, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you'd think that they'd be reasonable targets, wouldn't you? But they're going the long way around. There's a free kick to Ben Hart here for some reason.
But the kick was a poor one because Phil Matera was a good 2 or 3 metres in front of Ben Hart and only had to be dropped in front. He could have just run onto the ball.
So Hart's kick wide. Clark gave a shot there.
That's in the back.
Well, no free kick. You're right, Curls. Lovely play by McLeod to Rashudo. This is a good build-up now. They might have been lucky. Johnson down the line to Vardy. So some clean footy by the Crows.
I don't think the kick was meant for Peter Vardy. It was to the leading Nigel Smart, but Vardy chips in. Good hands.
Goes to the pocket. I think it might be out on the full. Or it is. So Peter Matera to take it. Comes wide. That's a good kick. It was a dangerous kick to Cox, but a good one. David and Goliath there with young Gallagher. Taylor, he didn't see Jarman, but he pumps it hard and long to centre-half forward. Both teams struggling up forward. Kerr was clever. McLeod fancied himself. Miranda threw it away. Got it out to Williams. Williams' kick misses a target. It's some sloppy football by both teams at the moment. Colliger and a boundary throw in.
I think we're underestimating the effect of the breeze. It's quite strong. Looking at the flags, they are standing out from the flag poles, and that affects judgment, but they are going, both teams going too wide when they're going forward.
Crows 11 times more inside 50, Graham, 20-9. Only a couple of kicks in it on the scoreboard. That has been the story of their season, though. Goodwin did really well getting it from Stevens, and then kicks towards Perry. Jakovic just pushed him under the ball. Edwards well done to Johnson. The tackle on Johnson was good, and then Edwards gets back. He's a will-o'-the-wisp. He's really hard to hold, Edwards. Kicks to centre-half forward. Smart, out position. Good effort there by Glass. Kick away by West Coast. Might be turned over again. Bickley attacked it hard. Gets back. Gets a second packet of Bickley. The handball's well weighted. Throws away through Shirley. Terrible kick.
Bad kick.
Bad kick on all parts.
Taken by Williams. At centre-half back. Driving kick. Big thump away. That came from Hart. They need a crummer. Pounced on by Fletcher. It's been pinched that time by Bickley. Good hands. Rockets the ball to Burns. Tries to find Gallagher. Leaves it for Stengline. Loose ball. Burns does well. It was a good tackle. Taken by Kerr. Loose ball. Crows bouncing out of the pack. That time was Rashudo. Chance for Edwards. Rockets the ball. Nearly the bounce. Clean hands is McLeod. And he's got the loose player. Sets it up magnificently. And finds young Gallagher. So they were good across half back. It was tough. Jarman still in the square. He goes short. Coming through is Perry. It was well weighted.
Gee, it was a good kick, wasn't it? This young fella, he's had to do it the hard way. He was shattered last year when he wasn't picked up in the draft, and could have hibernated over summer. Instead, he went out with the Crows. And I think at some stage even Port Adelaide in their pre-season, the Crows picked him up on the rookie list. He's done the hard yards at Norwood. And he's got the ball to Ian Perry, this guy here, and looks like he's going to be in that Crows side for a long time.
Well, he's been pretty accurate this year. 4 goals, 1 for Perry. 45-degree angle. Has to bring it back. Pushed it left. So a wasted opportunity.
He had a huge kick last week, Perry, against Collingwood. Not an easy one at the other end of the ground, that at a critical moment.
Study this, KB, please.
So 4-6 to 3-1. Peter Matera to Ben Cousins. Good kick, lovely mark. Takes Stengline on, and he's away. Stengline made the mistake of diving, and Cousins arches his back, kicks it hard and long. Little shove, I thought, on Embley from Stevens, but then Embley claiming it, and he's going to be...
You can't do that. How can that be holding the ball?
Well, it's play on now, and they're away. Embley's running in to an open goal. And misses. That sums up this quarter of footy, I reckon, for both teams.
Giving Andrew Embley a big rap in the first quarter. But sometimes when you run and you're being chased, you just don't have anything left, and the balance isn't quite there when you put it on the boot.
Do you know that name of game, Cornsey? Don't ring up for this video right now. It's a horror movie. It really is. It's deteriorating before our very eyes. Don't switch off, by the way. It'll get better. I promise you.
It can be difficult in the wind, though. I think Graham's made that point before. It is hard sometimes to handle the ball and to kick the ball and to mark the ball.
And Bruce, first and foremost, we won a contest.
And it's pretty strong across the ground at the moment. Here's Hart. Took it from Gallagher. Hart.
There you go.
On the burst. He ran his full 15. Chips it in. Reading the ball well, magnificently that time was Hewitt.
Now, that's what he can do. He's gone forward, there's no doubt about that. It looks like Vardy's gone off and Hewitt has gone to the forward pocket. I wonder why that would be, but it's a great grab. Great judgment.
Well, Hewitt started half-back playing on Mark Miranda, and Miranda kicked an early goal. So now on the forward line, Hewitt. He's always looked promising, even with the Kangaroos. 45 metres out, should kick a goal. And again, a bad miss for the Crows.
Phil Matera off. Ben Hart seen him away. And Kane Munro comes on.
That's the beauty of Ben Hart back there, Graham. He can virtually play on any type of player.
Oh, look at this kickoff.
Wooden has got space, and Jakovic says go. Provides the support, and Wooden is quick. Runs to the half-forward line. They can set it up here, the Eagles. Miranda backing back. Needs a clean hand. Bassett hits the ball hard. Creates a contest, then goes to ground. He's been jumped on, and he'll take the free kick. Well, the problem when you have that huddle, man on man, is if you actually prioritise the guy who's quicker than his opponent, it's going to be very, very hard to stop, because obviously he's got 40, 50, 60 metres in front of him.
Yes, but Adelaide's coaching staff are maintaining that
it's working.
It's working, and they're getting the ball back.
They've got figures to support that, have they, Graham?
Well, statistics can support anything, I think, Kev.
Shirley kicks the ball long. Goodwin can't control it.
This is a dead quarter so far, isn't it?
4-7-31 the Adelaide Crows, and the West Coast 3-2-20. So the Crows lead by 11 points.
Well, we haven't had a goal. We've played 11 and a half minutes of footy. We've had a few shots. So next goal becomes pretty critical here, because if Adelaide get it, they get a break. Now Clark's fallen over. Did pretty well. Back to Johnson. He's missed the target to Jones. Back to Wooden. Wooden running hard. Gets to 50. Kicked the ball forward. And Cummings sort of gave up, I felt. Allowed Bassett to take the mark.
When the play comes in from the outer side of the ground, if you're forward, you must be on the other side of your opponent, because the wind's going to keep pushing that ball towards the outer side of the ground. It's no good playing this side of your opponent.
It's a great mark.
That's the highlight of the second quarter. Terrific grab by Clark. He's doing well, Clark. No Gardner, of course. Kick out wide, Jakovic and Perry. Jakovic mopping up pretty successfully. Perry's had a couple of moments. Terrific give. Kick by Fletcher, Embley, Stevens, well played. Good back turn. Goes short to Smart. Crows have got the numbers. If McLeod gets in, Peter Matera was terrific in front of Jarman. Then Clark.
Great kick. That kick off the ground from Peter Matera has gone 60 metres.
And Cox gets a free kick. Wants to give it off. He does to Cousins, who feeds off him. And then Cousins switches it up. Good kick. That's better. To Cummings. That was terrific.
Yes, it didn't look like he had much purpose when he received the handball from the free kick, but he looked up and saw Scotty Cummings bursting into space. The kick was good, and that's refreshing, because disposal of the West Coast Eagles in this quarter, as it has been for the Crows, has been pretty poor.
No criticism of Jarman, but Jarman's not working up forward in this quarter. Matera's done pretty well, and the delivery's hasn't been good to Jarman, whereas in the first term it was terrific.
I think Kevin's made the point that Matera's playing in front of him now. I guess into the breeze you can do that.
Turnbull just replaced Cox.
So big kick here for Cummings. This gives West Coast a lot of heart. He's kicked it dreadfully to the pocket. And the fist away from Ben Hart, who's having a blinder. Back to Turnbull, who's just come on, so they've had to concede to Taylor. Little chip inboard to Woodham. Gee, it's hard work for both clubs. Wooden's kicked the centre half forward. Jones the target. Worked underneath by Goodwin. Embley and Stevens have had a good job. Lovely take by Cousins. Right on his bootstraps. Hooks back the centre half forward to the hot spot. Kerr had a crack at it. Handball comes out from Munro. Clark's handball. Johnson and Rashudo. The Roos away. Left foot wanting the line. And not quite going to get it. McLeod. Played by Wapunda. Gets it back. Kick inboard from Chambers. Fletcher rather, to the centre. Now West Coast go forward, wanting Jones. Goodwin juggling, can't quite. Ball still in dispute. Hart having a wonderful game, being held up. KB, help me out.
Well, I tell you what, the back line's got to stand up here for the Crows, because they're under siege at the moment.
Kevin, they are, and they're doing it one-on-one pretty much. There's no flooding. Adelaide haven't really pushed any players back. It's just West Coast's inability to find targets when they go forward that's helped Adelaide.
Edwards did well, just passed it off to Gallagher, driven into the ground by Taylor.
And in fact, West Coast in this quarter 9 times into their forward 50, 3 more than Adelaide, 6.
The young man on screen's had it 9 times. He's also kicked the goal, James Gallagher. Turnbull didn't actually go for the ball. In close Wooden. It's been handy in this quarter. Munro. Dangers here for the Crows, and getting his fist to the ball and putting it over the line is Stevens.
15 minutes of footy, not 1 goal.
Yeah, both clubs are having trouble getting through that half-forward area.
4-7-31 the Crows. The West Coast 3-3-21. As Bassett brings the ball back into play. Goes short. He's looking for Hart. Trapped it well. He's got to get around Wirrapundu. He needs support. Bassett runs hard from full back. Goes short. Shirley couldn't take it. And again, a big pack of players form. Back edge of the centre square. Now it'll open up. Risciuto gets the run from Beckley. 2 old heads combined. Smart's in front. Bit too much carry. Matera goes to the ground. McLeod has pitched it. Kicks a high ball to the square. Thumped away by Colliger. Carroll heads for the line. It may not make it. Yes, it will.
Oh, there was frantic activity in that goal square. Darren Jarman looking for the free kick for a high hit. The West Coast Eagles stood tall.
Cummings off and Matera comes on, so they've restructured their forward line a bit, and Ben Marsh getting ready to come on for the Crows.
Well, I like Marsh as a player. He's a very good mark and he's a very good kick. Chance for Bickley. For Gallagher. Continues to impress inside. 50. Pack of players. Perry. Smart. Needs support. Handball didn't really hit his target. Glass. Squeezed up along the boundary line. Puts it over for a toss back in.
Yeah, it's amazing. Last week we had one of the best games we've seen here at Collingwood and the Crows. Tonight, it's not the greatest spectacle of Aussie rules at all.
So Ben Marsh comes on to do the ruck work with Turnbull. Got to front position, did well. Johnson, high tackle, I thought. Can't get it out. Ball up. It's a real struggle. I mean, it's competitive and the conditions are tough, no doubt. But both teams are really struggling at 50, aren't they?
Look, I thought that was pretty good umpiring. He called high tackle, Bruce, but look at how he tried to shrug the tackle.
Yep.
It wasn't excessively high, and I thought the West Coast Eagles player, I can't see who it was, did well to stay on the tackle.
No, you won't get an argument with me. He had a bit of time too before that. Marsh and Turnbull, out the back, Edwards, cleverly done to Johnson, left footer, into the hot spot at centre half forward, Matera, who's doing well. I think he's on top of Jarman.
Well, if he plays in front, he's got the pace to read the ball. I mean, he's been a magnificent reader of the ball. And I think he made a mistake in that first quarter trying to play him from behind.
The trouble was that Breeze was carrying the ball a bit longer. I think that's when you can take the risk of playing behind. This quarter, Crows kicking into the Breeze. He can't. He has to play in front, and he's doing it really well.
So Carroll in the back pocket. Almost to centre wing. Well read Miranda, but he's attacked left, right and centre. Burn over the top. And again a ball up. So we wouldn't have had a goalless quarter of footy from 2 teams for a long, long time. And right now we might be looking at it. Kerr comes off for Chambers. So not long to go. You'd reckon a goal either way will give a team a lot of momentum going into half-time.
Well, there's just been 5 behinds kicked in this quarter. Miranda, can he open it up to Jones? To the half-forward line, he's kicked the space. Cummings comes out. Not Cummings, Cousins I meant. Magnificent play, kept his eye on the ball. Hooks it back. He was looking for Chambers. Bassett. Good support that time. Came from Bickley. Wooden. He's got Edwards to beat. To Hart, who's been magnificent across half-back. Bangs the ball back towards the centre wing. And we see the ball beats over the line that time. Turnbull and Marsh. And Vardy warming up.
Gee, that was a magnificent attack on the ball by Ben Cousins. He had Nathan Bassett bearing down on him. He just went straight at it. I can't believe how he won it.
Good players never fumble too, Graham, and he's got those wonderful hands. He's a one-grab player. Fletcher missed it. Prosciutto, touch of the fumbles. Rockets the ball wide. He was looking for Johnson.
Bit of rain coming, boys.
Jakovic, across half-back, has been handy tonight. The Eagles set it up. Carroll. The run comes from Chambers. Young man from Victoria as he pumps the ball back. And there's the diving Munro, one of their young players.
Yeah, but he was running through the centre of the ground and the kick goes wide to the half-forward flank. And now too much time taken getting it in there.
Just playing his 7th game from the Bendigo under-18s. Slightly built player.
Good lad.
And he finds Miranda.
He just
He's always got
that
this lively,
space.
isn't he, Miranda?
Gee, he's a good player. I'm surprised Richmond let him go, actually.
Well, he was there for 2 years and he was injured for 2 years. And I suppose at some stage, you've got to cut your losses.
But he's always had flashes of magic about him. And he appears to work really hard. He doesn't appear to be one of these players who's content to do it with his skill alone.
This to bring the West Coast to within 4 points. Miranda pumps it high. It's difficult with the breeze coming left to right and puts it through for a behind.
Yeah, the rain falling heavily now too.
Going to make it tough, isn't it? It's been hard enough, as we've been telling you. Not a goal kicked in this term. We've had 8 behind since the last goal was scored by West Coast at the 27-minute mark of the first quarter, that Embley snap goal. Good mark, Stevens, or free kick maybe then, but he marked it. That was a terrific effort, with the ball probably getting a bit slippery. In a low-scoring game, West Coast would not want the Crows to get a late goal here. We would give them a good lead. Marsh to Smart, just loads it up, just hoping here. It's impossible to mark, you think, for a forward. Hewitt and Carroll, the ball at ground level. Perry, Jakovic and Peter Matera pushes him in the back. No free kick, and now a ball up.
Vardy just replaced Edwards.
You hold your breath though, don't you, when they're in that situation?
Was it a push in the back? Just looked up from me. Well, I reckon it is.
Too much.
Gave him a shove. But the Crows a long way from home now after they had it at centre-half forward. Had a lot of problems attacking in this term. And again, a boundary throw-in. Colliker there. See the breeze about. Oh, everyone rugged up. Still a pretty good crowd. Probably around about 30,000. 32,000 perhaps. Ball to be won. Goodwin did very well. He's a left footer, so this should suit. Kicks to the pocket. Rashida, terrific mark.
Great mark.
He's in good nick. Kevin spotted him early as playing a good opening term. And that was a very good mark. Goodwin able to keep the ball in play. That was the important thing.
Yeah, Simon Goodwin's balance and his left foot gets him out of so much traffic. Still, Mark Prosciutto had to do the work. He was in front. Williams was right alongside him, as he has been all night. Well, this is a very difficult kick, though.
Well, this is what he did at Optus that day, wasn't he? He was able to kick these freakish-type goals against Carlton.
He's drilled it.
He's done it. He's kicked the big captain's goal.
Confused at auctions?
It's part of the theatrics.
It's hard to know who's genuine,
It's not happening here.
who's acting for whom,
I haven't seen anybody do that.
and where the bids are coming from.
Those are real bids.
We clear up the auction mess on 7 News.
Monday.
Well, that went well, didn't it? Until I started asking the questions.
Could this be the most vicious team ever?
I'd say so.
He's a nice bloke, but he's not as nice as me.
I'm here to make money and she's stopping me.
On the weakest link, Monday.
Crows by 15 points, 5-7-37. The West Coast, 3-4-22. And Mark Prosciutto, with plenty of power in the boot, was able to drill it. Marsh in the ruck. Getting his hands on the ball, Wirrapunda just trying to tickle the ball clear. Fletcher, quick hands. Cousins. Time clock ticking away, Wooden. To centre-half forward, Matera. He's got it. Runs into the open goal. Phil Matera kicks a goal.
How does that happen? You go all that time without a goal.
It's raining goals now, Graham.
But I tell you what, though, Ben Cousins skirting the back of the pack. Watch this. Takes it, finds a loose player, and he doesn't blaze. He sees Phil Matera, gets the ball across in front of him, he plays on immediately. It was dangerous because Andrew McLeod bearing down on him, but made no mistake about it. It's so easy when they've struggled to score goals. They've done it beautifully.
Big goal, isn't it? I mean, it gets them right back in touch at half-time. Low-scoring match. You reckon conditions are going to get worse before they get better. And Eagles within 9 points at half-time as the siren sounds. Well, that was an arm wrestle. It wasn't pretty. And the Eagles have been able to, through Phil Matera's late burst, get a goal. I thought Wooden was good and Cousins good in that quarter. But, gee, Graham, it was hard work, wasn't it?
Well, it's the conditions are going to make it like that. And I guess both teams are desperate. And West Coast particularly, being as undermanned as they are, they have to do it on heart more than anything. And when you try to make a scrappy contest of it, it detracts from the spectacle. They kept themselves in it, though.
They have. So at half-time, it's 37-28.
Channel 7 now brings you the results of tonight's lotto draw. For further details of Lotto and Super 66 results, call 1900 989 101.
Hello? Yeah, look, I want to quit smoking.
Sure, well, you've taken the first step. That's great.
Planning ahead is really important.
And I can send you a quit book if you'd like.
Call Quitline on 131 848. 131 848.
Insure your home and contents with the company you trust. Because life can be tough without your TV.
Le Cornu's latest catalogue out now. Thousands more red-hot specials with big savings to warm your heart. Check the latest and greatest in your letterbox or grab one in store. Le Cornu's. Home is where the heart is.
Love it at Le Cornu.
You'll be pleased to hear that you can get 3 of these Bonds Wonder Suits for under $25.
So?
So your wife just gave birth to triplets?
3 Bonds Wonder Suits for under $25 until the end of July.
Palmolive Naturals with jojoba nourishes and softens dry hair. With chamomile, gives your hair vibrancy. Palmolive Naturals. You can't always get close to nature, but your hair can.
I know she is.
All because of these 3 little words. Eater, oven, roasted. Your secret's out.
Does your toothpaste protect you even when you eat and drink? Colgate Total does.
Tom to control. Activating 12-hour shield.
Right, lunch is on the way.
Food and drink are no match for Colgate Total's unique antibacterial shield.
Tom, incoming apple pie.
Got it.
So it helps you stay protected even when you eat and drink.
Good job, Tom.
Let me know when dinner's ready.
Colgate Total protects you for 12 hours even when you eat and drink.
How is the Commonwealth Government's $1.5 billion Natural Heritage Trust helping Australia?
With support from the Commonwealth Government's Natural Heritage Trust, we're helping school students learn practical ways to look after Victoria's coastal areas so local beaches can be enjoyed now and for many years to come.
Little penguins live right here, next to the railway line and the road. We've constructed a special fence to stop them getting run over. Also, we've made artificial burrows for extra nesting sites.
Most of Adelaide's water comes from this area. With support from the Natural Heritage Trust, we've been fencing off and replanting buffer strips to protect the creek banks and help clean up the water.
Thousands of projects like these are being funded now and into the future. To find out more, free call 1800 065 823. The Commonwealth Government's Natural Heritage Trust, helping communities, helping Australia.
Authorised by the Commonwealth Government, Canberra.
Remind about name a game, every team, every week, 1800 035 665. So, sure if I get this one, would you? Might be a better second half.
Bruce, it's not pretty, but I think you've got to give credit to the West Coast Eagles. I mean, they are undermanned. They've come to Football Park. Their record away from home is not good. They've made a contest. They've really bottled Adelaide up, and at no stage of Adelaide looked like they're going to break free. Unfortunately, neither of the Eagles look like they're going to score freely either. Darren Jarman gave Peter Matera the real run around in the first quarter, but to Peter Matera's credit, in this second quarter, he really played in front and tightened him down. Scott Cummings does a nice bit of work there, but it was taken from the ground. He kicks this goal, but one of his kicks in the second quarter was an absolute shocker.
He's certainly lacking match fitness. I thought McLeod was terrific early. We didn't see much of him in the second term.
No, he's been shut down pretty well, but young James Gallagher, we've mentioned him a few times. It's good to see him getting his chance and doing so well. Miranda there. Good work by Bassett. Good tackle by Scotty Cummings. Very good tackle. And Embley, who we've been impressed with, he missed an easy goal in the second quarter, but got that nicely onto his boot. And he's been lively, even though Mark Stevens has probably had his measure at half-back.
This is the Rashudo goal, which we didn't have a goal until the last minute and a half of the second term, and then we had one from Rashudo and one from Philip Matera.
Front position, he knows Simon Good was going to kick with his left, but what's the way he drills that? Most players would try and bend it. He ran out and then ran straight at the right-hand goal post and stabbed it really hard, and it came back nicely. So we still have a contest. Well, you feel Adelaide are going to break the shackles at some stage, but the West Coast Eagles are persistent. Their coach can be happy with their effort, there's no doubt about it. Their execution's not quite good enough.
Just two stats. Inside 50, 28-18 Crows. Centre breaks 6-3 the Crows.
Yeah, well, Matthew Clark's been rucking very well against the inexperienced player in the Eagles side, but the Eagles half-back line have been really, really very good. Even though Adelaide are bringing it forward, they've been able to contain that.
Let's see what happens in the second half. Our Mitsubishi Player of the Week last week was Joel Bowden. Not so good today, but boy, he was terrific against St Kilda last week.
Mitsubishi Player of the Year. Richmond star Joel Bowden was the standout player in the Tigers' big win over St Kilda at Colonial. And he is the round 13 selection as the Mitsubishi Player of the Week. Bowden collected 24 touches, took 8 marks and shrugged off 3 different opponents to kick 5 goals in another outstanding performance.
Runs around his saint and slots it from 25.
He's a big talent, no doubt about that. So
some people like him for the Brownlow as an outsider.
Well, he had a great game last week. So the situation here at half-time, the Crows by 9 points. We'll take a break and we'll see what's happening at the Gabba after this.
Main Logistics, Australia's most diverse logistics and transport group, presents the Main Sports Report.
Good evening, hope you're enjoying the football. In the game played this afternoon, Hawthorn proved too strong for Richmond at the MCG. The final margin 57 points. And last night Essendon beat the Western Bulldogs, but everyone's talking about Gary Moorcroft's mark. It's already been called the Mark of the Year. And Pat Rafter is still waiting to see who he'll play in the Wimbledon final. Tim Henman and Goran Ivanisevic will complete their rain-interrupted semi this evening.
At Main Logistics, we aim to tailor integrated transport and warehouse solutions to make e-commerce more deliverable, to move more goods, more efficiently, more reliably, at less cost. As Australia's most diverse logistics and transport group, we are committed to linking the best minds with the best technologies to provide the very best business solutions imaginable.
That's the main difference.
At Mitre 10 right now, our July hot deals are too hot to handle. With the Sabco Super Swish Mop with bonus refill, just $22.95. A Ryobi Twin Tube Blower Vac, only $99. A 2-piece pruning set, just $14.95. Or a GMC Sander and Jigsaw Twin Pack, only $95. So hot-footed into Mitre 10, because these hot deals won't last long.
Mitre 10, out of 10, save you more.
This RAA symbol has always represented the pinnacle in motor service standards. Earning RAA endorsement is the toughest test of all. One service group has set their sights on this ultimate goal, to offer nothing less than the highest standards, and so earn the right to display the RAA symbol at every one of its outlets. Not surprising, that group is Ultratune. There are 15 Ultratune service centres and they're all RAA approved. Ultratune, in tune with you and your car.
Palmolive Naturals with jojoba nourishes and softens dry hair. With chamomile, gives your hair vibrancy. Palmolive Naturals. You can't always get close to nature, but your hair can.
At the Get Up Close Boat and Fishing Show, win a family-sized Wave Runner excitement machine or this nippy family fishing rig thanks to Yamaha Pitman's Marine. Get up close and personal with your loved ones in a boating package of your choice. Entry forms in the Sunday Mail.
It's here. Old El Paso discovered the secret to the perfect burrito. It's the spices. Simmer chicken in the burrito seasoning mix of paprika, cumin, and beans. A flour tortilla, chicken, salad, salsa, and wrap it all up. They waited enough. What about me? Old El Paso. Celebrate eating.
Shout, the musical is rockin' Adelaide.
Okay, you're going to lead a revolution. You know you make me want to shout.
Based on the life of Australian rock legend Johnny O'Keefe. This new multi-million-dollar show lets you relive the man and the music that rocked a generation. Shout, now playing for a limited season. Festival Theatre, don't miss out. Book at Bass.
Had a heavy downpour before half-time. Looks to have abated, but a pretty cold, windy night here in Adelaide. 37-28 the score at half-time. So Adelaide over West Coast at the moment by just 9 points. The other match tonight, Brisbane heavy favourites against St Kilda. They're sixth on the table going into this weekend. Have won 4 straight. The Saints in 14th place. Let's go to highlights of the opening half.
And, his hands are quite good at the moment. As Powell goes short, Gehrig. Well, he put him under extreme pressure. Here's Hart, swings onto his left. Will he get enough purchase on it? I think he will. He's got it.
Voss is there as well. Can't get out, but he does well to get the hand pass out the back. Brown, that was very, very clever. Here they go again to Bradshaw. Oh, that's got to be 50.
Careless is the word they use, isn't it?
Another chance for Bradshaw. This time he makes no mistake.
Nodding. Thank you, Sandy. Gives it to Craig Bolton. Running through the middle now. Again, they go to Bradshaw. That's going to get him. That is a wonderful kick. This one a bit further out, but it's from his side, the one that he likes from 50. Looks okay. Oh, Bradshaw's got 3.
Baker gives away a little ground, but not before he gets it to Callahan. Callahan's got to be accurate into the middle to Elliott, and he is. And away go the Saints now. This has beat them in towards full forward, towards Big Bad Bustling. Hall from 25. In the strength as he marked in front of Bryan. Gets it out to Darryl White in the centre of the ground. He goes dashing through the middle now. Will White go all the way like the mighty Beltimi? He sprints down the half board. Lynch for his first from 35 metres. Kicks the goal. He's 60 from home. He can kick a long ball when required. And he goes for distance this time. Keating's in the square. Oh, Crackers is at the back. And he's kicked the goal.
Lions looking good at half-time. Bradshaw with 3, and they've got a huge lead over the Saints. They lead 9-9 to 2-5. So a 46-point margin there for the Lions over St Kilda. So they're looking good, and they look like they might be in the top 4 by the end of this weekend. At Tui's magic moment tonight, we're going back to 1986 when David Parkin was coaching Fitzroy. Yes, Kevin Sheedy was still at the Bombers. It's the elimination final.
45 years of footy on 7. Proudly brought to you by Tui's New. The 1986 elimination final. Fitzroy trailed the reigning premiers Essendon late in the final quarter at a cold, wet Waverley. Enter Mick Conlon. The Lions by a point.
Congratulations, Fitzroy, and the Lions are into the first.
Tui's New. Give that man a new.
Yes, the Bombers have won the previous 2 premierships. They're now the biggest force in AFL footy, and of course Fitzroy extinct. A lot's happened in 15 years for those 2 clubs. What's going to happen to the Eagles and the Crows? We'll find out in the second half right after this.
7 Sport. Watch out. The AFL Premiership season. International Rugby Union. Bledisloe Cup. Tri-Nations. The Winter Olympics. World Figure Skating Championships. World Cup Aerials, the Davis Cup, Sports World. 7 has the Ashes Tour. Watch
Porsche, Audi, BMW offer a Tiptronic-style transmission. as does an Australian-constructed high-performance car. Magna VRX with sports mode.
G'day, Larry.
Hey, morning, Larry.
G'day, Larry.
Insure your home and contents with the company you trust. Because life can be tough without your TV.
Pluck things from the ground and hurl them at your enemies. Pluck your enemies from the ground and hurl them at your other enemies. Super Mario Advance, only for Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance. Sarah Homes are the design innovators for holiday homes, weekenders and country homes. Whether you wish to build at the beach, by the river or as a rural retreat, from around $36,000, Sarah Homes can tailor build a home to suit your specific requirements. Picture a Sarah Homes retreat on your piece of paradise. Call 8243-0388 for a Sarah Homes brochure today.
It's an overstock prices.
We'll fix this problem right now. Been here over a year, 70% off.
The longer we've had them, the bigger the discount. 50 to 70% off every Goodyear rug. No exceptions.
Recordable 80-minute CDs. These are genuine Atira. That's genuine Atira, is it?
Genuine?
Genuine Atira, just 99 cents each. When you think of Cunningham's, what do you think of?
Circles.
Genuine Santini purses, just $5.99. Cans of spray paint, $2.49. 20 rolls of bog paper, just $4.99. We've got piles, 3A videotapes, $2. 60-minute audio tapes, 99 cents. Outdoor wood heater, just $39.99. These would be fantastic for a fire outside, I reckon, in the backyard.
Oh, I live in a flat.
Mom? Can I go to the Christ place to play cricket, please? It's going to be England.
They have a tough task ahead of them if they are to get anything from this match.
Got him!
Well, that really was a fine piece of cricket.
Still some misty rain about as we look at the match stats to half-time, Cornsey, and...
Yeah, well, the West Coast are actually getting their share of it, there's no doubt about it, but they are going wide when they're winning the ball across half-back or deep in defence. Adelaide have been into their forward 50 a lot more times, even though they haven't had the ball as many. They just can't find a key goal scorer up there.
Have a look at the team stats. We'll start with the Crows. Rashudo's had a good night, hasn't he? And kicked a really important goal.
He's been really good. Andy McLeod's been busy, but perhaps inconspicuous. James Gallagher's been excellent, and Ben Hart out of the back pocket has been probably Adelaide's best. He saw off Phil Matera, even though Phil Matera did come back on, and the others have been serviceable. Bassett's played pretty well on Scott Cummings.
Numbers are low for both teams, aren't they? I mean, because it's been one of those nights. Ben Cousins up the top when we look at the Eagles.
Yeah, but so's David Werpunda. He's been very good. Glenn Jakovic is playing really well at centre half back, and Josh Wooden on the wing has been pretty good. Mark Miranda has looked impressive across half forward, as has Richard Taylor, who's playing on the wing. So Gallagher and Taylor, who are opposed to each other, both having pretty good games.
Curls, what do you reckon? That was a funny old half of footy, wasn't it?
Well, the first quarter wasn't too bad. There was some entertainment there. But that last quarter, the second quarter, was a very dull, boring game of football with the ball virtually going between half-back and half-back, and neither side can yet establish a clear winner up forward. Darren Jarman looked dangerous early, but Peter Materi stuffed him out in that quarter. Look, it's still very difficult to pick which side can get on top in this game because Both sides have had their moments that first half. Neither side's been able to dominate up forward. They've been well contained by the backman. And it could go either way. Look, West Coast people sitting back home back in Perth, you know, they can feel reasonably confident because their side's playing quite well. They're handling the ball, as Graham said. They are going wide on far too many occasions, but this game is still up for grabs.
Girls, just a couple of quickies. What about the weather, and what's the left of screen worth? Is it worth a goal or two?
Oh, look, a goal at the very most. It's more or less a cross. There's a little bit of rain on the ground, but not a great deal.
Thanks, Neil.
Okay.
Matthew Robran has gone to the goal square for Adelaide. Gives them a bigger target, there's no doubt about that.
So Eagles to the right, Crows to the left of screen. Big stakes here, particularly for Adelaide in terms of the season. Eagles would have conceded that they won't play in the finals, but a win here would give them an enormous lift after beating Melbourne last week. Taylor gets it from Djakovic. Djakovic has been a pretty good player, so's Taylor. Cousins, another possession for him. He'll steel himself for a huge second half. That's a good mark, Miranda.
Yes.
Cornsey likes him, and that was a terrific mark against Edwards.
Well, they put Tyson Edwards back on him. That's how much they respect him, because Tyson Edwards is a very good player.
Not such a good kick for Cummings. Again, a bit over the top. Goodwin can't quite break the Cummings tackle. Bickley got it from Goodwin, got it to Gallagher. Gallagher to Bassett. Bassett wisely went to Stevens, who's a better kick normally. Stevens has kicked to centre wing. Perry and also Djakovic. And a boundary throw in. So 37-28. Just feel at the moment every goal in this match will tell a tale. And the first goal here will be vital. Matera's goal just before half-time, so important.
Crows by 9 points. That mark of Mark Miranda, that's what he's capable of doing. A couple of years ago, playing for the Tigers, he took an absolute ripper at the MCG as Bickley pumps the ball back towards centre-half forward Vardy. Couldn't take it, kicked off the ground by Djakovic. Some real presence across half-back. Bickley, they'll share the ball around. McLeod, twisting and turning. Just trips the light fantastic and finds Smart. Inside the centre square. Robran on a long lead. Colica. And Matera running off Jarman. Goes wide and finds Taylor. On centre wing. Wooden. Was very good in that second quarter. Just overcooked it a bit. Kicked off the ground by Taylor and puts it out on the full.
Oh, well, what does the coach do about that? His players have won the ball, a slip, and then a rash kick takes it out of bounds on the full.
Malous Vardy, too far out the score, good 75 metres. Risciuto's getting back. Jarman on a lead, kicks a high ball towards the square. Robran playing from behind. Carroll thought he had it and lost it. Matera squeezes along the boundary line, made ground, so he won't be pinged. Boundary throw in. He's done a good job on Darren Jarman since the first quarter. Jarman booted 2 goals, 1.
The West Coast have opened this third quarter pretty much as they started the game, and particularly with Matera and Cummings across forward.
McLeod, quick snap, great kick. Great goal.
Nearest 7 save, thanks, mate.
Just make it $1, sunshine.
So Glenn Djakovic unhappy. He felt that he'd got the mark, at least handled the ball before it went over the line. McLeod getting a second goal. Adelaide pinch a little break here. Perhaps that'll shake the shackles off this match. Hopefully we'll get a high-scoring second half compared with the opening half. Bickley, Clark continuing to do well in the ruck for the Crows. Djakovic building away from Perry. If Perry plays him man-to-man, he'll have trouble with him. Well done, Ben Cousins to Colica to Ben Cousins. It's a good shepherd there by Wooden against Bickley. Cousins continuing to get plenty of the ball. Terrible kick. Ben Hart marks it.
Well, he's got the ball on a string tonight.
Hart's kick is a better one. This is better for Perry. He's got a lead and he does, and gets it to David Gallagher getting a run. Little kick, a bit short for Vardy. Vardy can't quite turn his man. Rotherham back to Gallagher. Gallagher gone. Well, lucky not to be pinged, I think. Rotherham, that ball looked out of play. Vardy twists and turns, and then hooks back. Matera front spot.
That was good mark. Good mark under pressure.
Gee, I tell you what, Taylor, I'd be playing Darren Jarman at half-back right now. The kick into Cousins, marks it at centre-half-back.
Well, Peter Matera is a quick learner because playing from behind early, but now playing in front. And he can give you some rebound from half-back as Colliger belts the ball back towards the half-forward line. Now the race is on, looking for Jones. Taken by Goodwin. Sets it up well. Stevens finds Tyson Edwards. Just weighing up the opposition. And drops it in short and finds Perry. Running hard is Smart. He wants it into the pocket. Makes good ground. Hard running. Jarman on a lead. Matera's with him. Rotten wants it short. Vardy heads towards the goal square. Now makes a short lead as well. Clark gets back into the goal square. So it's one for the High Flyers. Clark's a chance. He's in front. He's got a huge leap. Got his hands on the ball. Cox did well. Jarman has pounced on it. Danger for the Eagles, and Jarman bangs it through.
At these prices, don't miss being a part of the action at Repco.
From Bendix, the best name in brakes. Bendix Long Life Performax brake pads from just $57. Save with Bosch. Australia's largest range of Bosch ignition parts, spark plugs and leads. Single plugs from $235. Shell, Helix Super 5 litre $16.95 and multigrade 4 litre $10.99. Munro, premium GT gas shockers deliver optimum performance and precise handling from $89.
At Repco, we know what it is, we know where it goes.
Gee, I'm a good judge. Put him to half-back, but he needed that goal because Matera done well, but that's given Adelaide a real break. The first real big break of the match. 7-7 to 4-4, and the signs are good for the home team here. Now, can they put a space in West Coast? That's been their problem. Kane Johnson on the interchange with Ben Marsh. James Byrne, it looks like. But Adelaide coming out well here, and Jarman justifying his position again up forward with 3 goals. Kick in there, deemed not to be in danger. Kerr, Cox it was, Cousins, well played to Wooden. Wooden's been pretty good. Kicks to half-forward, Phil Matera running hard, gets it in front of Hart. Hart had a terrific opening half. Matera's kicked the full forward, Bassett and Cummings, no mark. Goodwin trying to sweep up at the back. He does really well to Gallagher. Gallagher hits Stevens in the back, unfortunately. The ball comes out. Taylor back to Miranda. Good tackle on him by Ben Hart. And a ball up.
Yeah, good work by the Adelaide defence. There's no doubt about that. Good work both teams, really. Desperation there. And Nathan Bassett showing his true worth as a stopping, nullifying fullback. Scotty Cummings bustled him out of position there. Looked like he was going to take a chest mark, and Bassett just able to get that left hand to the ball.
Chance for the Eagles. They trail 28 to 49. The umpire Coates just talking to the ruckman in Cox and Clark.
Kevin Wooden's all on his own at centre half forward here. If they can get it out to him, the Eagles.
McLeod does the ruck work. Goodwin, the quick kick. Back to 50. It's a high ball. It's a one-on-one contest. Taylor and Shirley. Bundled over the line. Steng line. Young Chambers. So it's a boundary throw-in. Good 75 metres from the Eagles' goal as Cox over the back. Brilliantly read by Chambers, showing a fair amount of talent for the young man. Cummings was there pushing and shoving. He's given away the free kick.
That front position, the consummate defender plays in front at all costs.
Bassett to Stevens, goes wide. He's looking for the run of Goodwin. Jones closing quickly. Goodwin, the All-Australian, does it well. Poor kick. And Chambers got his name down. He's a come-up as Jones pumps the ball into Embley. He's booted a goal today as Fletcher runs hard. This is better by the Eagles out in front. And Miranda has been very dangerous.
Well, he was there for a long time too. He was in the last disposal that went to the centre of the ground. He was by himself. still was by himself and the ball spun out of that one.
Well, it's good to see him being so lively, because when a player's been injured for nearly 2 years and hardly playing a game, and then trying to resurrect your career and get back into some sort of touch and get your reputation back online, it hasn't been easy for Mark Miranda. But he has certainly shown tonight that he's not far off being at his best. This an important kick, very similar to Mark Rasciuto's just before half-time. Miranda from 35 metres out. It's a floater. High ball. Embley thought he had it. And Goodwin happy to just paddle the ball back over the line. It was a different kick than Rasciuto's. Rasciuto has that power in the boot where he just drilled it, whereas this is a high ball.
And the breeze caught it too. I mean, it's really stiff down there.
Tough pocket, isn't it, to score from? All the more power to Rasciuto's kick. So West Coast attacking. They need a goal here just to close it a bit. Bassett's had a good quarter. Cummings and also Fletcher there with McLeod ball up. So Adelaide just pitching a break in a low-scoring game. McLeod and Jarman, their champions, scoring the goals in the second half so far. Clark beaten for, oh, that's a good tap. Here's a goal. Oh, he's missed it, has he? Fletcher? Yep. Gee, it was a good tap by Cox. And Fletcher on his wrong side, admittedly, but he had an open goal.
Gee, almost one of those set plays, isn't it?
Now Hart to Bassett. Bassett to Gallagher, or Smart at the back, it depends. Taylor going with Gallagher. Gallagher continues to impress into Stenglein. Stenglein floating, wobbly. Rasciuto with strength. Well played, though, by Williams on his front. Perry too slow holding the ball. He just had it for too long, though, Perry.
No awareness of the player coming behind. I mean,
that's dead right, Graham. Like, players that lack awareness, it just surprised me all the time.
Well, it's probably one of the big criticisms of his game. Williams just kick out wide. Carroll, Rodram, Gallagher. This is David Gallagher. Well done. Gets it back. Shirley turns his man. Neat looking kick to Smart. Terrific mark. Probably should have been paid a free kick. Has an opportunity. Blazes a bit. Coming back. And a behind.
He's been energetic, Nigel Smart. He hasn't actually hurt the Eagles. By gosh, he's looked dangerous. He's had just the 8 possessions, which on a night like tonight is not a bad night, but
Adelaide zoning, Graham.
Adelaide zoning, they've had a rethink at half-time.
A big roar goes around the ground too, Graham. Must be a big talking point over here in Adelaide.
It's been a huge talking point.
Peter Matera to bring the ball back into play. The Crows led by 11 points at quarter time, 9 points at half-time. They now lead by 21. Chance for the Crows now. High ball getting back is Jakovic.
See, it's caught the Eagles by surprise because they've planned on the one-on-one in the huddle. When they're confronted by a zone, they didn't know how to handle it.
3 marks, 11 possessions to Glenn Jakovic. Wirapunda, 12th possession. Opens up, loose play. Chance for Glass. Young man. Pumps the ball inside 50. And coming out is Bassett. He's got to have more presence across the half-forward line. Hart has been a star tonight. Nearly run down by Philip Matera. Close to the line. And Wirapunda with a big fist against Gallagher. Puts it back over the line.
Adelaide selectors shown a lot of faith in David Gallagher. Just trying to give him the confidence to play at this level. He wins the ball well. His presence when he heads the ball just needs a bit of an improvement. That comes with confidence, and that's exactly what Adelaide are trying to do. Just trying to...
Cox beaten by Clark. Hurried kick. Perry playing in front. Read it well. The run comes from Rasciuto.
Starting to make a presence, this boy.
Young man from East Perth. Into the pocket. Rodman goes to ground. Was he interfered with? Let's have a look. There's no glare back at the umpire.
Yeah, the crowd don't like it.
But a few words. Yes. He certainly was interfered with.
Cummings replaced by Turnbull.
Turnbull comes on. He's going to pull forward. It's a boundary throw in at 35 metres out. Clark couldn't get his hands on the ball. Cox can. Cummings continues to work hard. One-on-one contest. Young Glass against Smart. Smart's too smart. Breaks the tackle. Runs to 50 and closes. Nigel Smart tries to bring it back. And Peter Matera camped on the goal line to Colliger. Some rebound football from the Eagles. In front, Miranda. Strong tactics that time from Tyson Edwards. Just belts the ball back over the line.
Glass comes off for Kerr, so Scotty Cummings off the ground and Turnbull on. Just think now that Adelaide have got a chance to really put the Eagles away. They're putting the screws into the Eagles. They've got to hang on tight here at West Coast. They need the next goal. Bickley held on to, but the umpire had his back to it. And Wooden did very well, belting it forward. High tackle there, free kick to West Coast. It'll come back to Turnbull. So Turnbull out wide. Oh, Cox might have taken his eye off it and could get himself into trouble here. Forced to go back to Wooden. Wooden's got a shorty inside in Turnbull.
That's the trouble with the Eagles tonight. Every time they've got the ball, they've looked wide. They've gone wide invariably rather than gone straight down the centre quickly.
Embley was the leader. He's going to go over the back. Jones, but no competition for Stevens. He's had a pretty good night. And he's able to get over to Gallagher and Gallagher to Clark. Doesn't waste the footy, Gallagher.
Neat.
So Clark at half-back. So the Eagles without a goal in the first 15 minutes of this third quarter. Clark's kick to Perry. Jakovic. That's the one that Jakovic likes, doesn't he? When they kick it slowly to Perry and he can feed off him.
Well, watching Ian Perry this quarter, it's been interesting. He started deeper, perhaps on the 50-metre line, and he's had space to run into, and they put the ball in front of him so he can run onto it. That time the ball sat up. Jakovic was able to spoil it quite easily.
Well, Perry's taken 6 marks tonight. Jakovic 3. McLeod with that pace. Caught. Wooden is very quick himself. Jones can't handle it.
And of course, a lot of you boys may not know that McLeod was in doubt for this game because of the flu.
Yep. Fletcher picking up McLeod. Kerr back on the ground for the West Coast. Cox doing most of the ruck work tonight. Gardner, last minute replacement. Cousins is a fantastic player. Virtually a lone hand in the midfield. Inside 50. Second grab, Bassett pulled off the ball that time by Embley. There was no free. Across half back. Gallagher again making his mark on the game, and Hart drills it wide and finds Perry. That's mark number 7. Bassett now running hard down from half back. Wants to make some numbers. Inside 50, Robin in front. Couldn't take it. Carroll thought he may have been interfered with as Colliger takes the ball over the line. So it's a boundary throw in on 50. The Crows 7-8-50. They lead by 21. West Coast 4-5-29.
Ian Perry's been most impressive this quarter. He's working wide and running strongly at it, and they're giving it to him really nicely.
Kerr. They move the ball to Wirrapunda. Very high kick. And Perry make that mark number 8.
It was a gutsy effort by Perry. Eyes only for the footy. He's got a taste for it at the moment. Bangs in long. Clark, Robin a target. Carroll with him. Williams read at best at the back. He just decides to kick it straight back to Perry. So just a bit of panic there from the Eagles trying to get it out. Perry's kick. Wanted Smart. Clark, Smart, ridden into the ground. No free kick. Probably a good decision. Ball up. Like to have another look at it.
Well, I think it was in the back a little bit. Just watch. Quick hands by too high for a start.
Yeah, it wasn't forward. Just wonder what goes through the umpire's mind. He's in a good position. He sees it and says no.
No, the thing is that I think probably it looked like he didn't deserve the free kick. He received it and held on to it a little bit longer. I think that's probably what counted against him.
McLeod trying to weave some magic. Bickley with courage. Williams toe pokes. Now Perry should give it to Gallagher. He's a better kick. He doesn't. He doesn't. But he does sweep a long handball to nobody. Wirrapunda out of mid-air. Smart claims it, and he's going to be paid it. Well, did it go 10? Must have.
Went 10. Didn't go 15.
Doesn't have to, of course, this year. Smart, Jarman. First time he's really led in this quarter. Doesn't take the mark. West Coast have got some numbers. Carroll. Robin to chase. Carroll wants the line or Fletcher boundary throw in. Goals still hard to get.
Most good teams these days start their attacks from defence. And the West Coast Eagles have got to have the confidence. They're winning the ball in defence. They don't have an attacking intent. They're defending when they're in their back lines.
Smart hit the pack hard. Bickley, it'll be a centering kick. High ball. Vardy came in and so did Gallagher. Robin had it and lost it. Wirrapunda with pace. Backs himself in. And again heads for the line. Can they run it down? Can't get there.
He didn't have too many options then, but
Ben Hart is quick, but not that quick.
Matera's trying to come. That's why he was in defence. He was trying to come off.
Only 4 goals have been kicked since quarter time. Clark and Cox. They've been at it all night. Cox thumps the ball forward. Chance for the young man coming through his hum. Williams. The run comes from Wooden. Very good player in the second quarter. Driving kick. Caught from behind that time was Turnbull. Bassett. Pinpoints it to Clark. Needs a kind bounce. Didn't get it. Cox. He's got 2 to beat. Forces the ball over the line.
Just replaced Phil Matera there.
So Curls, Phil Matera and Cummings both off the ground. They're big hopes part of the game in terms of goal kicking.
Yeah, both being well held by Hart and Bassett.
Bassett's attack on that last entry into the Eagles forward line was tremendous as well.
Well, Embley's now at full forward. He's got Miranda with him. Risciuto, the bull. Bangs the ball wide into open space. The race is on. Vardy has got Colliger to beat. Chambers there. Makes it 2 against 1. Chambers, young man showing a lot of potential tonight. Fletcher goes to ground. Cleverly got the ball back towards Colliger. He'd be happy to just paddle the ball over the line. Chambers, a fresh air shot. And a push.
And a push.
Just under 5 minutes left in this third term.
It's a push. That is a push, that one. James. No worry, James. You're in his back.
50 metres.
Oh, that's harsh.
Well, he may have sworn at the umpire. And of course, the umpire, if you say something to the umpire, we can only assume he may have said something here.
He definitely says something. We'll just stay with it. The free kick's there.
That's in the back to Colliger.
But was he swearing at himself?
Colliger backtracks, conceded ground to Wooden, who loves to run with the ball. Again, penetrating kick, hot spot, big pack of players. Edwards, the crummer, beautiful kick, finds Jarman. Now he's on the half-back flank. He's playing it full forward.
Peter Matera's run forward. He's just had to go with him.
To Bickley, to Edwards. So just sharing the ball around across half-back. That's a beautiful kick. Finds the run. Rodman to Jarman. Closing quickly was Hum. He did it well. Great play by the youngster who's just come off the bench. And Cousins has got it on edge of the centre square to Matera. 2 champs combined, 1 old, 1 new. Matera tried to just tackle the ball forward. Look at Wooden with strength. Ripped himself away from the pack. Chance for Jones. He needs support. Gets it from Chambers. An impressive young man. Matera, a touch of the fumble. Back to Wirapunda. Across the ground. Williams goes short. Embley's the target. He's got space. Can he get around Bassett? Bassett tracking him like a sheepdog. Does well. Taylor concedes ground. Too much ground. Now they can be hurt by Gallagher. The Crows on the rebound. Risciuto. It opens up wide. Hart loves to run with the ball. Loose players everywhere. Stevens has got it. Now he's slowed down. He had to move it quickly into the pocket. Vardy was the target. Chance. Perry against Jakovic. And just with body strength takes him out of the contest and through for a behind.
Comedy of errors there. The West Coast Eagles had control of the ball from centre forward. It was almost as though there was an invisible barrier on their 50-metre line and they didn't want to go in there.
Peter Matera's kicked it out, so Adelaide get a kick back in.
The zone is working.
No doubt about that. Well, it was a terrible kick to a bloke on his own. But the stats will show it's working, Graham. Vardy, a long way out.
James Gallagher's paid the price.
Pops it up, Robin! No. Gee, that's deliberate. He's going to be pinged. It's out.
Well, Jeff Geeshan said recently, Bruce, that if a person tries to put it through for a behind, deliberately put it through for a behind, concede a point, and doesn't,
Jarman's kick,
they'll pay the free kick.
But that shouldn't be right because it's not his intention to put it out of bounds.
That's what he said they'd pay.
The rule says it should be if you put it intentionally out of bounds. But if that's not your intention, how can that be right?
Well, I did put that to Jeff Geeshan, but he said they will pay the free kick.
Oh, so you make your own rules. That's ridiculous.
7-10 to 4-5, 52 to 29. So Adelaide with a good lead, but they're still struggling to kick goals. They've only kicked 2 in this quarter, and West Coast have kicked 1 goal since quarter time.
And the fact that he hit the behind post, I suppose we're giving him the benefit of the doubt that he was trying to actually put it through for behind and not actually run the ball.
Yeah, but that was out of bounds on the full anyway, so there's no argument with that one.
50 metres against West Coast for tapping it out of Perry's hand, and Perry has a chance to have a shot for goal. It's been his quarter, Perry, hasn't it?
It's been his. We'll watch this. The 50-metre penalty is just far too severe.
Well, for minor infringements,
well, it's almost accidental. That's just too severe a penalty.
Kevin, you're on the rules committee, have you ever thought of bringing the 25-metre in as well?
Here's Perry's shot, Curls. You'll give it a bit of thought. He's missed. 25 metres, Kevin?
It has been discussed, but hasn't got the thumbs up.
So Perry, a couple of points. So Adelaide finding it hard here just to bury the Eagles on the board. They lead by a pretty big margin, though, in a low-scoring game.
Well, he's kicked behinds in the second quarter and third term, Perry. But he has been a dominating player in this third quarter. He's taken 10 marks. Robrin got a fist to the ball, squeezed up on the boundary line. Kerr. And again, scrambly play sees the ball back over the line. There's Ian Perry on screen.
I wonder what sort of anguish there was at half-time in the Crows dressing room to make that change from the one-on-one to the zone, which has really worked in this quarter.
Marsh got his hands on the ball first. Stenglein with pace, good enough to get his kick away. Matera playing in front, and again straight back over line.
Not trying to create, Peter, just blasting out of bounds.
Ken Matera has played on Darren Jarman for the entire game, lined up at full-back.
It's interesting, though, as indirect and negative as the Eagles have been in this quarter, three-quarter time, if the score's like this, they have given themselves a chance to win the game.
Kerr goes to ground. They'll pile on top.
Yeah, there's nothing in the breeze, Graham. It's not favouring either side.
Gee, Curls, it's definitely going right to left.
It's going across the other side, virtual half-forward pocket.
Double the shots too, Curls. 18 to 9 here. Adelaide should be 7 or 8 goals up by now.
But Bruce, they're not.
You're dead right.
Minute and a half left in this third term. McLeod conceded ground, did it well and finds Marsh. Under a minute, so he'll need a long kick. Try and get into the hot spot. Matera, the big fist away. They'll need a crumb up for the Crows. Getting there first was Glass to Miranda. And again, they just keep kicking the ball defensively over the line for a toss back in.
Interesting stat will be the inside 50s in this quarter. I mean, they will be so overwhelming in Adelaide's favour, you would think.
It's 18 to 8, Bruce.
Ken Judge looking
18
on.
18 to 8.
They have to hold the Crows here. McLeod, danger for the Eagles. Chance for a mark. Rashuko.
He's taken it.
Well, he kicked a great goal just before half-time. Mark Rashuko looks like he's going to kick a goal right on the three-quarter time siren.
It's a suspicion of a nudge there.
Against Williams.
Against Mark. He looked at the umpire. The umpire put his hands in the air and said, "You've marked it." But Mark Rashuko again has the chance to just stamp his authority on this game. The last 2 weeks he's done that. He's asking where the mark is.
This to extend it to 30 points. 5-goal lead. You can see there's no angle for Mark Rashuko. He should kick a goal. He's just 25 metres out directly in front and hammers it home.
It was just what they needed, having struggled to get the ball forward cleanly given the desperation of the Eagles' defence. Just before three-quarter time, the ball comes in high. Mark Rashuko plays well at ground level. It's just a rough kick. Just nudges his opponent out and double grabs the ball.
He's had a good game, hasn't he? He really has tonight. Back in some real form. And his goals have been timely, late in quarters, and Adelaide now have a real grip. They lead by 5 goals in a low-scoring game. So it means the Eagles are going to have to kick more goals in the last quarter than they've kicked in 3 to win. Marsh, Turnbull. Ball comes out, Stenglein. And I reckon the question now, 3/4 of the time, there are 2 questions. One, what resistance in West Coast? And can Adelaide go on and have their first big win for the season? Their biggest winning margin has been 28 points. Remember, if they won by 7 or 8 goals tonight, especially the low scoring, they'd be in the 8 tonight. It's an opportunity they should not let go right now.
But would you give up if you're the West Coast Eagles? Would you think you're out of this game completely with whatever breeze there is behind you? Surely.
Well, that's the other question. West Coast, how can they respond?
Go for it.
So 8-11 to 4-5 at 3/4 time.
Channel 7 now brings you the results of tonight's lotto draw. For further details of Lotto and Super 66 results, call 1900 989 101.
Yeah, our horse came in third.
Yeah, we're still taking the boat out.
Look, that's my half hour. Here's my...
Daniel?
Hello, Mum.
Telstra Home Line Plus customers can now call overseas using 0018. Pay for the first half hour and get the next half hour block absolutely free. That's a free half hour to talk to anyone in over 230 countries.
Yeah, Mum. The T-shirt came in real handy.
Another great option from Telstra.
Broken clear, a long 60-metre bomb. Big pack balls in the goal square. Oh, what a grab! What an absolute screamer! Oh, that's got to be grab of the year.
Golden draft, thanks.
The forecast for Truscott Hi-Fi's winter sale is no highs. Just lots of low prices across all stores. TX 68cm stereo TVs $100 off. Sony 6-head stereo VCRs $30 off. Hitachi Digital 8 camcorders $200 off. Sony DVD players save $33. AEWA 400-watt home theatre systems save $46. So it's cold nights with hot prices during the day. Truscott Hi-Fi, Adelaide's lowest prices with up to 24 months interest-free terms.
Hi, home improvers. The Stratco Winter Price Freeze catalogue is out now. I'm through it. Fence sheets $11.95 each. Seconds veranda roofing $10.75 a metre. Outback verandas 12 months interest free.
We're trendy. We're traditional. We're leather. We're recliners. With stock ready to go now at the lowest price or it's free. Discount Lounge Centre, Ranella, Parafield and Keswick.
Sarah Homes are the design innovators for holiday homes, weekenders and country homes. Whether you wish to build at the beach, by the river or as a rural retreat, from around $36,000, Sarah Homes can tailor build a home to suit your specific requirements. Picture a Sarah Homes retreat on your piece of paradise. Call 8243 0388 for a Sarah Homes brochure today.
Interest-free, no deposit, sensational liqueur news. It's no deposit, and interest-free on $10 million worth of furniture, bedding, carpet and rugs. Liqueur news interest-free and absolutely no deposit on now.
Growth. 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 Doesn't that sound weird? It's like something hideous taking root in your left buttock.
On the other hand, Billy, growth can be good. ING in Australia has grown from 5 to over 30 billion in funds under management in the last 10 years, largely by helping customers grow and protect their wealth.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. There's nothing like growth in your own assets.
ING, the new name for Mercantile Mutual.
Seven's football telecast. Proudly brought to you by West End Draft. West End, your thirst. McDonald's incredible family meal deal. And Mitsubishi Motors, driving your world.
See the job in front of West Coast. They've kicked 1 goal since quarter time. They probably need, at the minimum, 6 in the last quarter to have any winning chance. But they trail 8-11 to 4-5. The Crows by 30 points at 3/4 time. Brisbane Lions.
The AFL, in association with its premier partner, Carlton and United, proudly presents the 2001 Premiership season.
So that progressive score from Brisbane was 14-11 to 6-7. Brisbane over St Kilda. Really heavy rain here at three-quarter time. So what do West Coast do? Do they throw caution to the wind and bring Matera and Cummings back onto the ground and try and attack?
Well, they have to kick goals, and what's the point of trying to save a game? Ken Judge, when he was coach at Hawthorn, brought a Hawthorn team here and went very defensive when they were behind. I think he might have learnt by that. I mean, you still have a chance to win this game. You're going home with whatever breeze there is, and the breeze is favouring your attacking end. You surely, and they're getting enough of the ball, just they don't seem to want to attack, trying to save the game.
Cummings has still got his tracksuit on, so he's coming to the bench.
And Jakovic is going forward. Jakovic to go forward with Wapunda by the look of it. So it looks like Wapunda might go to full forward with Phil Matera at his bootstraps. Martin Micken is about to join Neil Curley. Curls?
Hi, Mark. You've just about got control of it, but you're not strangling it.
No, we were a bit static up forward at times and probably didn't make the most of the amount of ball we had. But, you know, they're keeping at it. Their intensity's good and just not quite the polish that we would like. But, you know, it's better than not getting hold of the footy, which is something we are doing.
Message three-quarter time is?
Oh, just to keep going, to, you know, an opportunity to erase the hurt that we caused ourselves last week and to finish off with a really strong quarter.
All the best. Back to you, Bruce. And Kane Johnson is fine.
He is okay. Thanks, Neil. Well, right now, if the score stayed as it was, Adelaide would be in the 8 tonight in front of the Bulldogs. 8-11 to 4-5. Adelaide's biggest winning margin this year is 28 points. The Eagles need a big last quarter. They've stacked it with Wapunda and Phil Matera in the goal square, two very skillful players. Their first trick is they've got to get it down to them. Stengline's kicked to half forward. Smart had a pretty good third term. He blazed a bit in the third quarter, but he certainly won the ball effectively, and that one he's kicked it out of bounds at half forward left. Rashudo's been terrific. McLeod, as Neil reminded us, had an injury or an illness cloud with the flu virus, and he's done very well for the Crows. So Adelaide sitting on what should be a match-winning lead here. Goals have been very difficult to get. They lead by 5. Marsh hacks it out of the air. Rashudo can't quite. Williams, little give. Wooden's been a very good player for the Eagles. Hooks it across the face of goal. The race is on. Glass down the line. Pretty good kick. That's a good result from where they were. And the boundary throw.
Glass has gone to centre-half back on Perry, who led Jakovic a bit of a dance in that third quarter. Jakovic has gone to centre-half forward. And Ben Marsh, he's starting in the ruck when we felt Matthew Clark had done a fair job around the ground.
So Marsh to Byrne.
Good tap.
Byrne's left foot. Ball to be won here. Smart and also Chambers. Fell over. Carroll couldn't take it. Cousins hums in. Well, he did okay. Gallagher almost. Cousins pushes forward. Rodram blocks Cousins, but Cousins too good. He wanted it more than anybody else. Goes to centre-half forward. Little toe poke didn't go far. Miranda, which way? The wrong way, unfortunately. It was a good effort.
Actually, Bruce, I'm glad you picked up about Nigel Smart, because, yes, as a Crows watcher, that's been his fault for the last 3 weeks blazing.
8-11 to 4-6.
How good was Ben Cousins then?
He just
2 or 3 possessions, just ran at the ball hard, trying to lead by example, trying to lift the Eagles as Bassett pumps the ball wide. Here's Perry, and young boy did very well there, Glass, because Perry was outstanding in that third term. Marsh was good enough to get his boot to the ball. Williams ricochets back to Colica, comes away from half back to centre wing. Miranda, can he make ground? Tries to take it, does well on the half volley. Good hands. He's got a loose player in Phil Matera. He's got 2 to beat. Handball wasn't absolutely spot on, but the pace of Miranda made it all happen. Here's Cousins. He'll go wide. 1-2. Loose player set up. He's looking for Embley. Cousins has set it all up outside of 50. Embley closes from 50. Big bomb into the goal square across the face. Jones!
Oh, he's done well.
And unselfishly and cleverly finds Phil Matera. So a goal here is going to boost the confidence of the West Coast Eagles.
It was a good delivery forward by Embley. Jones marked it. He's on Goodwin. He's run forward from the centre of the ground, taking the mark. Realised the angle was hopeless. Played on quickly to Phil Matera now. This is one of those extremely vital goals.
Cousins has had it 26 times in 7 marks, and he has set up this shot at goal, and Phil Matera, I think he's missed to the left.
I think he's got that, I think. No, you're right, okay.
Gee, big miss, wasn't it? They just look a bit livelier, though, West Coast, don't they? They've opened up quite determined to push forward here.
Cousins is the man.
It's important to kick a goal there, Graham.
Well, you have to kick, that's what you're there for. But, Bruce, I think they've been lively all night. I mean, there's nothing wrong with their attack on the ball, and they've won the ball often enough.
There's a kick to centre-half back. Hanging on, Marsh, I think, and a free kick.
Yeah, Marsh. Marsh was hanging on. The umpire made a mistake with his first action.
So Cousins gets it. He got himself into trouble to Jakovic. Back to Cousins. Oh, just got away from the tackle. Then boots the centre-half forward. Smart across the front. He'll have to hook it out now. He does. Well played. Goodwin's hands were good. Bassett had an airy. Jones's handball. Taylor. Well done, Goodwin, with some body strength to Byrne. The tackle okay, but Byrne had enough strength to get a handball away. The Crows got out of it there.
Well, Ben Cousins does get himself into a little bit of trouble with that. So run around the back of the player with the free kick or the mark, and probably better for Turnbull to actually take that free kick and pump it back to the goal square.
So Marsh, we saw Clark sitting it out, so he'll probably come on fresh late. Chambers had a ripped off in McLeod to Smart. Gee, don't know what he's trying there. Stenglein. Gee, keeps his eye on the footy. Stenglein in hot traffic. That was terrific stuff. Bickley's kick to centre wing. Gallagher didn't fall over. That was really important that he didn't. Well done, though, by Hum. He did grab hold of Gallagher's Guernsey, but he stayed upright himself. Gets it to Cox. Cox back to Taylor. Taylor's kick to half forward. Miranda. Edwards just did well. Little shove in the back, but you couldn't pay it in a boundary throw in. 59 plays 31.
The Crows by 28 points. They led by 11 points at quarter time, 9 points at half time, and 30 points at three-quarter time. An early goal is what the Eagles need. And this one with Phil Matera, they may have another chance. Goodwin pulled off the ball. Edwards playing on Miranda. Byrne goes short, sets it up, finds Bickley. Their playmaker across half-back, kicks the ball long and wide to Hart, who's been magnificent. He's been too good for Philip Matera tonight.
Gee, it was a good kick.
Well held up, though. He held him up well.
Ben saying, what about 50?
He was ahead of his mark, so
he was ahead of his mark. Curls well picked up.
Matera was entitled to do that.
Hart leads on from Robran. It's been ignored, and young James Gallagher is coming off, and David Gallagher is coming on. The high flyer was Williams. Risciuto sets it up. Got to hit the ball hard as Peter Matera. He'll get support as they bang the ball back. That came from Taylor inside the centre square. Wooden knocks it on. Gallagher straight off the interchange bench. Byrne. Tyson Edwards gets it from Marsh. Time for think music as he sets it up, and Robran made good ground. Great defensive play by Colliger.
It was tremendous.
Forced to spoil for a toss back in.
Michael Colliger, he's been quieter tonight, there's no doubt about it, but his whole season has been one of desperation and efficiency in defence. It was a great spoil of Matthew Robran.
Throwing right on 50. Hum. Desperate young player.
Carroll off for Cummings.
Just relishing his chance to be on the ground. He spent a lot of time on the interchange bench.
I know Cummings had a lot of injuries, but you just wonder about his long-term future as an AFL footballer. He's struggling. He'd started okay tonight. He needs to make a contribution in this last term if he gets the opportunity. McLeod, terrific. Then Edwards. This would be the goal of the night if he kicks it. Just misses. Played well, McLeod.
He certainly played well. It probably hasn't been his scintillating best, but he's had 18 possessions. He's certainly been dangerous when he's got the ball.
8-12, 4-7. So Peter Matera with this zone now for the Crows. And Matera kicks to centre-half back. Gee, they spoil each other, the two youngsters. Drop the ball there, Edwards. Then Taylor gets over his back. Cox and Hum were the two that got in each other's road. Williams at half-back, kicks down the line. Too far for Emily, too far for Stevens. The race is on. Emily did well. Bassett's had a terrific game. Hasn't played much footy this year. This has been his best game by a mile. Kicks the ball to Smart. reckon he's put his hand up, Bassett, tonight, don't you, and said, I am a key defender. Play me. Gallagher's kick. Terrible. Straight to Richard Taylor. Taylor's kick to Munro, to Hum. Hum does just that. And here's Bassett.
He's had a beauty. He's put himself in front. He's attacked the ball fiercely and he's been rewarded because the ball's found him.
Stevens at half-back.
Well, the West Coast have only kicked 1 goal since quarter time. They've got the worst forward line in the competition as far as the stats are concerned and the worst defence. So it's hard to see them kicking a winning score in this last term. 4-7-31 the Eagles. The Crows 8-12-60. They lead by 29 points. They just don't have enough firepower. Fremantle haven't won a game this year, yet they've kicked 10 goals more than the West Coast, who are 29 points now. 4-7-31 on the scoreboard. So it's 4-7-31. We've got that right. 8-12-60. It's a ball up on 50. So the Eagles, with just under 13 minutes left, somehow have to manufacture a goal. Jones, just with strength, tried to break clear. Stevens goes to ground. Cummings overruns the ball. Gallagher trying to make his mark on the game. This is David Gallagher. And again, it's all tied up. 45 metres out.
Now, a little bit of rain,
the West
Kevin.
Coast goal.
Sorry, a little bit of rain has made the ball, with the grass being so long, it's pretty slippery now.
So hard to take it cleanly. A lot of players around the ball. Marsh and Turnbull. Jones over the back. Goodwin read it really well to Hart, who's been one of the best players for the Crows tonight. Uses Bickley. Bickley's long kick to half-forward. Rodman's in a reasonable position, I thought, but Glass read it best. Oh, strange decision to handball to the man so close to him. Put Fletcher under the pump a bit. Wooden goes back to Cousins. Cousins hooks it back. A lot of Crows here, and Rashudo doesn't take the mark. Stevens, Rashudo, Williams. Here's a chance. Matera on the burst. 40 out. Has to kick a goal for them to have a chance. Has he?
Oh, I reckon innate goal kickers like Paul Hudson and Philip Matera, they stay on the ground because you never know when they're going to kick you a goal, Graham. They kick goals in bursts too.
And they fall out of the game. I mean, that's the nature of the game. The half-forward flankers, forward pockets fall out of the game, so they need some confidence and perseverance.
They need someone on the forward line who can kick a goal. Matera can do that. Smart pumps the ball back. Hum showed a lot of courage. Didn't he? Tyson Edwards goes at the ball hard. Colliger caught high. Will take the free kick. Another goal will certainly lift the confidence. They're not out of it yet, the West Coast.
That effort of Hum to go back with the flow. I know he did mark the ball, but my goodness, that was courageous.
Well, Hum and Glass have done a couple of nice things in this last turn. Taylor.
It's a 50-metre penalty.
So the ball's coming back 50 metres to Hum, to Taylor, to the half-forward line, from behind. The big fist come from Munro. Playing in front was Stevens, Miranda, a toe poke, Rashudo. Kicked 2 very important goals tonight. Half-time siren and also at three-quarter time is Tyson Edwards. It was clever play. Too much carry on the ball for Perry. Jakovic now looks like he's back in defence. Taylor from half-back tries to set it up. They can raffle it. Williams comes way into the centre square. Penetrating kick, Miranda trying to get back. Rurapunda. Conceded ground back to Munro, so a couple of youngsters trying to make their mark for the West Coast Eagles. Not clean hands by West Coast across the half-forward line and probably a bit indirect.
Matthew Robin came off, Evan Hewitt went on, but just if Ken Judge is going to show videotapes, that's a good one where the ball's coming down the centre corridor, but the kick ends up out of bounds on the half-forward flank. It's just not efficient football.
Miranda, he did well, he hacked it out, and then Wapunda carried it forward. Bassett, Shirley, Miranda, close to the line, looks for a free held. No, I think it's out of bounds, boundary throw in.
And it's difficult to work out who's responsible. Is it the guy kicking that's responsible for that, or the player leading to that space? Because you often respect the lead. The discipline has to be for the lead to go right down the centre of the ground, and also for the player with the ball to avoid and ignore those leads that are wide to the pocket.
Critical moment in the match here. Adelaide 4 goals in front. West Coast with still time and 1 more goal here would give them a chance. Hewitt, not a good handball. Phil Matera, Cousins, West Coast building, Jones, Cousins. They certainly look for their captain, don't they? Good kick inside. Wooden took his eye off it. Then wanted a free. It wasn't there. Bickley did well. Hewitt, that's better. To Rashudo. Torpedo punt towards the line. Out on the fall.
So that's critical. Josh Wooden drops the mark. I mean, he takes the mark. He has a shot for the goal with the breeze over his shoulder.
And we're talking about, Graham, one of their better players tonight, aren't we? He's been good, Wooden.
And it came straight to him.
Turnbull.
Chest.
I feel like West Coast have got one chance here, haven't they? They're making a run at the Crows. The kick to half forward. Gallagher.
Oh, he's nearly done it.
And Munro runs it over.
Some would say two, Bruce. Two chances. Yours and...
I know what's coming next. I just want you to say it.
No, I don't want to say it. Because they have had enough of the ball and shown enough attack on the ball to be closer.
McLeod, clever kick, did well, found the line, boundary throw-in. So, again, goals at a premium. Adelaide without one in the last quarter. West Coast, through Phil Matera, have got their only one. Interesting, Clark still seeing it out, Marsh doing the ruck work.
Can't work that out, actually. If they're happy with Ben Marsh, which they probably can be, he has rucked well, and they're just resting Matthew Clark.
Still over 9 minutes left in this last quarter. The Eagles trail by 23 points, throw in on 50. McLeod working in close. Collicker paddling the ball long, especially backhandled it, back to Cousins. Perry didn't hit a target. Clean hands were required. Jakovich can set it up. Kicks it off the ground. Danger here now for the Crows. Playing in front was Bassett. Wirapunda can be dangerous. He's got good hands under these conditions. Back to Miranda. Quick snap. Great snap!
You're kidding.
Has he kicked the goal?
Oh, he has.
Sensational. One of those two chances again, Graham.
Well, they're going to eat my words because there's a touch of panic about Adelaide, and a miraculous goal like that from Miranda.
Official attendance.
Sorry, Bruce. Just can lift a team, and gee, the next 5 minutes, next 2 minutes are crucial.
31,500 here tonight. Cousins, little toe poke, Taylor, West Coast coming home hard, kicks the full forward, Bassett, well done.
Yeah, he has played superbly.
He reads it well, Bassett.
I think he had to, Graham, he and Hart.
Scotty Cummings was desperate to get there, tried to get there, dealt with him fairly severely after he took the mark, but Bassett was always in control of that contest.
Now, it's not a long kick, and the Crows realise that, and they come short for him to Hewitt at half-back. So perhaps Adelaide do need to kick a goal to close this match off. West Coast have struggled for goals all night, so have the Crows. Stevens kicks the half forward. Rashudo, good mark, got rid of his man. Now, he's a long kick. You get it to the goal square here. He goes for it and bangs it long. It's a great kick. To behind. Gee, he must have kicked that 55 to 60 metres into the wind, it looks like, from here.
It's only the 5th time Adelaide have been in their forward 50, West Coast 12.
You've got to say at this stage, Graham, that it's West Coast with the authority.
Yes, but do they know how to win? That's the only thing.
Well, we'll find out.
Kick some goals.
They have got time to kick the goals, but Adelaide have had control for most of the night. Perry, short to McLeod. McLeod goes wide to Smart. He's got a paddock. Now, they'll come short. He's got Edwards really short and Bickley. Bickley says kick it to Edwards, and he does. Edwards is still a couple of kicks from goal. He goes into the pocket for Vardy. It's a good kick. He's a long way out. Chances of kicking this are about 15%, you'd think. It's a good kick. Can Jarman take a big one? No. At the back, Ben Hart out of the air behind. Slow motion in the end, wasn't it?
Cummings been replaced by Embry.
Well, that's interesting, Curls. I mean, the game's there to win for West Coast. They take their champion goal kicker, I say their champion, their leading goal kicker off the ground. It just shows you his standing with the coach right now.
Well, Bassett's got the last 3 goals that have gone in there. 3 balls that are in there.
Finds Chambers, who's on the half-back flank.
Adelaide have lifted, though. I think they've responded to the challenge of the West Coast.
Still just under 7 minutes left as Chambers pumps the ball long. And a good strong mark's been taken by Marsh. And McLeod on the burst. Inside 50. Hewitt.
He just needs some confidence in there. The coach has shown confidence in him by taking Matthew Robran off, putting Evan Hewitt on, and he hasn't had a lot of football, and he certainly hasn't had a lot of games where he's actually been left on the ground for a while. This is a very good mark. It's a wet ball. He's got a strong voice behind him in Ian Perry, but he still had to take the mark in these conditions.
Well, he's kicked 3 goals, 1 for the season. So if he's within distance, he's fairly accurate, but these conditions are tough with the breeze. Hewitt right to the line, and Colliger happy to punch it through for a minor score. So 62 plays 44, 18 points, 3 straight kicks for the West Coast Eagles.
The Adelaide zone is working pretty well, actually.
They must have been practicing it for a while, Cornsey.
Well, they may have.
In fact, I'll give the point the other way, 63 to 43, so it's 20 points.
So we're putting it just getting his boot right. Well, West Coast just need to get a goal from this kick out to give them any chance, you'd think. There's about 6 minutes remaining. Just got to get a little closer on the scoreboard. They've put a fair bit of pressure on. Here's the chance. Hum hasn't had the ball much, but he's been reasonably impressive. He's a goer. Smart over the top. Ball up.
Is that Peter Matera going forward, Graham?
Peter Matera is...
at half forward, Cornsey.
Half forward. Tyson Stengine has got him, so who's on...
Colliger's gone back onto Jarman.
He's got Jarman for about 5 minutes, Colliger.
And Robert Shirley's gone on to Ben Cousins for these last 4 or 5 minutes.
So still a 20-point game. A little kick forward from Chambers. Cousins to Taylor. Taylor, neat-looking kick, but too far for Miranda. Miranda a chance here. He's been a good player. Goes over the top. Peter Matera hasn't kicked a goal all year. Still hasn't kicked a goal all year.
They're not going to die wagering, are they? You don't know what frame of mind they came to Football Park in, whether to be competitive. It looked as though they were just trying to save the game in the first 3 quarters, but they've given themselves a chance to win. Despite their miserable season, they've really showed some heart in this last quarter.
Williams replaced by Kerr.
Well, the Crows by 19 points, and they led by 30 points at 3/4 time, so the Eagles are coming home. Just under 5 minutes left. Burns has it on centre wing. So Byrne pumped the ball back to 50. Risciuto with strength. He's given away the free. Has he got the free?
He's got it.
He's so strong, those one-on-ones. He's really troubled Williams tonight.
Yeah.
And we saw him kick an absolute ripper from the other side of the ground before, Graham. So this is right left the breeze, so it will favour him. Now he kicked a great goal just on the half-time siren.
Right-hand post here.
And he kicked a terrific goal also right on the 3/4 time siren.
You just fancy him, don't you? You just sense he's played enough football on this ground. He's practiced these goal shots virtually every night at training.
Well, there's a bigger moment player, big occasion player, Risciuto. Big kick, right to the line, hits the post.
Back to 20 points.
But he's looking good, Mark Risciuto, who shrugged off the rib injury, shrugged off his breathing problem.
Colliger short. Well, if Adelaide are to make a run at the finals, and it's imperative their captain finds top form, and he's on that path at the moment.
Miranda replaced by Williams.
Thanks, Curls. Colliger. Good spot up here. Down the line to Glass, to Kerr. Kerr's little kick forward. Munro, nice hands in front of Stevens, who's had a very good game for the Crows. So Munro comes back inside. McLeod can't quite get it. Kerr, 50 metres out. Poor kick. In fact, a real waste in the end. A bit disappointing. He's had a good year, Kerr. He's a rookie. He played at 17. He's now 18 years of age, and he's played every match.
The young players like that will make mistakes. Just has to learn from it. I mean, you can't waste the ball so wide in these circumstances.
Turnbull. Ben Hart did really well because Phil Matera was running through towards goal. And Goodwin puts on the main tackle, and again a ball up. So no goals for Adelaide in the last quarter. 8-16 to 6-8. It's an ugly-looking scoreboard in terms of accuracy and in terms of quantity.
Reflects the game, though, Bruce.
Fresh air shot from Shirley. Cousins, can he set it up? They're going to close quickly. Byrne did well, made a contest. Still inside 50. Cousins just continues to win the ball. What a player. Chambers got smart to beat. He's been impressive. And Fletcher has got it. Now he's right on 50. They need a goal because the time clock keeps ticking away. 2 minutes 40 left, short. And again, this has been one of their problems all night. Hart will put this through for a behind. To the leading player, they've had too much carry on the ball and they've kicked it too high.
That was only about 45 metres out.
Could have had a shot,
yeah,
girls.
You would have, Kevin.
Would have had a shot from the back pocket. But to the leading player tonight, they've really missed their target, the West Coast Eagles. Edwards, hugging the boundary line, paddling the ball along, still in play. Does it well, Tyson Edwards. He's a clever player. Hewitt, he was looking for Jarman. Maybe a bit of magic. A bit of magic. Getting back is Taylor. Well, he's booted 3 goals tonight, Darren Jarman. 2 of those goals came in the first quarter and 1 in the third. And Peter Matera was playing on him at full back. Goes short and finds Kerr.
So West Coast have run out of time here. Jakovic, Wapunda, through the centre. Good build-up, very good build-up to Embley. Late goal would be handy for them. Cousins again. Probably he's worked his way into the 3 votes the way he's played.
35 possessions and 7 marks.
Wooden goes short to Chambers. He's got Peter Matera short.
From 50, breeze behind you, have a shot.
He's not confident though, is he?
No, he's not.
She squares it. Now Turnbull, we know he's a long kick, but he's 65 metres out where he's got the ball. Well, he's going to try and improve it. It's a big kick in terms of distance. It's not accurate, and Adelaide pretty happy to force it over the line.
Just watch Ben Cousins on the mark, and last week they did it to him when he played on, and they shepherded the player on the mark. It's a dangerous tactic because unless the umpire's called play on, you can't shepherd the guy on the mark.
The Eagles are going to go down fighting. Marsh had the ball ripped out of his hands. There's a chance to Hart. Gee, he's been magnificent tonight, Ben Hart. He's given away the free. Holding the man.
He was holding the man. He did so well, though.
Callum Chambers, this young man from Lucknow and Gippsland, Victoria. Looks like he's got a bit of a future as well. Wooden, front edge of the centre square. Penetrating kick. He's going to kick a goal.
On Today Tonight, Adelaide's biggest goal.
With a fair bit of pride, I think. They've fought this out really well. Adelaide, well, they'll be pleased with the win. They haven't had one for a while, but they won't be pleased with their efforts, I don't think. Maybe their effort, but not their execution. There is a difference, and it's been the story all year for them, unfortunately. And they have lost the chance of going above the Bulldogs tonight.
Yeah, but the 4 points were so vital, Bruce. I just think they had to get them however they could. And there's no doubt the West Coast Eagles have made a really fierce contest of it. They've had to fight for these points.
Well, they may still get in there, the Crows. That's it. 8-16, so Adelaide kicked 5 points in the last quarter. Gary Ayres, I reckon his face says a few things here. He's unhappy. He's unhappy.
He's got the points, though.
He has.
That's all that matters.
But they led by 30 at three-quarter time and won by 13. And that was imperative that they had a win because they'd lost 3 straight. The Eagles look like they are turning the corner just a little.
Richard Taylor's reaction when the siren was interesting. Took the mouth guard out, threw it on the ground.
Well, they came to win, didn't they?
Well, the last quarter they gave themselves a chance of winning. I just don't think they knew how to. Adelaide have given themselves a buffer and the Eagles couldn't breach it.
Well, it's a bit cornsy. They didn't know how to win, and I'm sure Adelaide don't know how to win by a margin because they had it set up at three-quarter time to kick away here and have a sizable victory. They were unable to do it. Neil Curley, he's going to find Ben Hart, and why not? Ben Hart was terrific tonight, Neil.
He was, Bruce. Well, Ben, a valuable 4 points, but a struggle.
Yeah, scrappy game, wasn't it? It was just a real one-on-one battle, and, you know, the skills from both sides are a bit scrappy, but, as you say, happy to get 4 points.
He had a good ally back there in Nathan Bassett. Had a good one.
Yeah, it's good to see him. You know, he's been playing a bit up forward and then a bit back. He was back to his best today, playing in front, hit the ball hard. He played real well.
You know, the Crows people would realise that this is a pad for 3 games that are coming to that 8.
Yeah, we've got a big month ahead of us, no doubt about that. But at the moment, I mean, you've heard it before, we'll concentrate on St Kilda next week, and, you know, hopefully this could be the start of something.
McLeod was out with the flu early in the week, but he proved he was okay.
Yeah, he didn't train on Friday, a little bit crook, but came out today, and he just had that bit of class today, I think, which, you know, showed pretty well, and when he gets it, he usually uses it pretty well.
And Ben Cousins, he was a real thorn in your side.
Yeah, knocks up getting touches, doesn't he? He's got a great work rate and just, you know, one of the fittest going around, so he played a good game.
Good win, all the best. Back to you, Bruce.
And thanks, Neil, and to Ben Hart, who did such a good job.
He did. He played magnificently. And there's a touch of Banjo Patterson and Neil Curley in that winner. Ben Hart was tremendous in this thing. They mentioned Nathan Bassett. The Crows' last line of defence really stood tall. They had some very good players in the midfield as well, and they're trudging off the ground. There's no joy or elation there. It's just a job they had to do. They did it. We'll get on with next week. That's probably not a bad way to be, in a sense.
What do you think, Kevin? I mean, what sort of a win was it?
Well,
okay,
it was just a battling win, wasn't it?
Well, let's see what Gary Ayres has got to say. He's with Neil Curley.
Yeah, thanks, Bruce. Well, Gary, the 4 points were vital, but it wasn't a very convincing win.
No, it wasn't, Neil. Look, it was a pretty ordinary game and, you know, pretty ordinary effort, I thought, by our boys, really. We've had 24 scoring shots to their 16, and look, the conditions with the breeze and the rain probably contributed a bit, and it was just a slog. But, yeah, look, the 4 points were very vital. We're now squared the ledger at 7-7, so that's about the only positive thing to come out of it, and probably Nathan Bassett's game at full-back.
It was a good one. All the best. Back to you, Bruce.
Thanks, Neil, and good on Gary Ayres for that.
It's the right comment, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he summed it up pretty well. KB, you were saying?
Well, it was a battling game. I was a little bit disappointed tonight with the Crows. I understand they had to win the game, but they could have been in the 8. And I think at this stage of the year, with the 30-point lead at three-quarter time, there was a fantastic incentive there to be in the 8, because it's lovely to, you know, after the weekend's round of football, to see you sitting up there in the top 8. And they missed a terrific opportunity tonight.
It's going to be very close. We're doing our sums at the moment, whether they've snuck in or not, Kevin, but their biggest winning margin this year is 28 points. They're aware of that. They led by 30 at three-quarter time and couldn't kill off a team that, you know, truthfully has been the worst team in the competition for much of this year.
Well, they've got the worst defence if you look at points scored against them. They've got the worst forward line.
And the worst percentage by about 15.
Yeah, but that aside, a little bit, last week you saw one of the great games of Australian rules football, and Collingwood came to play the Crows. They all raved about the game. They lost. Tonight it's been an average game against a dogged opponent, and they've won. So what would you take?
No doubt, the 4 points. But good form eventually will come through.
Well done.
As Cornsey, it wasn't that bad, was it?
No, look, I'd be happy with the 4 points. I mean, but sometimes you want to see a good game. We didn't see a good game tonight.
No doubt about that. The highlights from the second half, again, goals were really hard to get. The weather did deteriorate, but Adelaide did dominate the third quarter, didn't they? They got on top then.
Well, Andrew McLeod, not great for the whole game, but certainly played well. That was a very good goal. Listen, just watch Darren Jarman hunt this ball. He's blocked out of it by Peter Matera, but just gets after it. He comes up, he's got space, he's always balanced. That was always going to be a goal once he got it in his hands.
Did a reasonable job, Jarman, didn't he? I thought at that point it might have been a good moment to send him back and release him at half-back.
And Rashudo, he was powerful when he had to be powerful, and led the team really well. That's one of his 2 goals.
Wooden was okay, dropped a very critical mark. Cousins got so much of the ball. He played short a lot tonight with a little handball and getting it back a lot, didn't he?
He does get a lot of those easy possessions, so to speak, but you wouldn't be critical of him because he does work so hard and he gets so many hard possessions. Phil Matera was really well held by Ben Hart, but just on a couple of occasions found himself in space and made the most of it.
This is just where West Coast started to make a run, didn't they? Slippery ball, and this was the freak goal by Miranda.
Goal of the night, actually. He'd been given the message to come off. He was on his way off the ground. Left foot, up high. Breeze did the work. Goal, and he turned and ran to the interchange bench, which you'll see, you might not see that, and they sent him back, said stay on.
So Wooden, this is a goal by Wooden.
So easy. When this is kicked so easily, I think, why did they struggle all night to score their goals?
So the final score here, Adelaide without a goal in the final term, but they held on pretty comfortably. West Coast gave them a small scare, I think, but 64-51. So 8-16 to 7-9. We've heard from Gary Ayres, we've heard from Ben Hart, Graham. Gary, not particularly pleased. What about from Andrew McLeod, because he's with Neil Curling?
Well, Andrew, a little bit of doubt throughout the week with the flu, but you would have found that one hard to run out.
Yeah, a little bit tough, but just glad to get through it and get away with the win.
Seen a struggle up forward again tonight, you know, instead of getting that extra possession that could have given you a shot for goal.
Yeah, it was something we're going to have to work on. It's been a bit of a problem, but we had enough of the ball to you know, do some damage, but just failed to capitalise on it.
Gee, it's good to watch a player like Cousins in it, the way he performs.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's just really good at what he does, and probably at the moment, probably the benchmark. You know, as far as on balls are going, he's just very consistent in the way he goes about his footy.
St Kilda next week, that's got to be a must-win game.
Yeah, they're all must-wins at the moment,
Yeah.
but yeah, definitely. And you know, after getting a win up, after a few losses, it's going to give us a little bit of confidence going into next week. So we'll be looking forward to it.
And it looks like we might be getting that defensive area settled. Bassett back there was very good tonight alongside Hardy.
Yeah, they were tremendous. They stopped a lot of the you know, West Coast attacks, and you know, it's good to see it's starting to settle down back there as well.
And young James Gallagher starting to find his feet.
Yeah, he's come along leaps and bounds, and he's only going to get better as he plays more games. So it's going to be interesting to see how he progresses.
And a valuable 4 points. Well played. Have a well-earned rest.
Thank you.
Back to you, boys.
Thanks, Curls. Real professional performance by McLeod. That roof over the top's going to suit McLeod next week against St Kilda with dry conditions.
Well, if we see some of the highlights we saw last night, it'll be tremendous. Adelaide don't mind battling though. It's going to be a real test because St Kilda will not have a completely disastrous season, and they'll just sense that this is an opportunity to win a game, so there'll be a lot of pressure for both teams this week.
We'll take a break, Cornsey, and we'll be back. Your vote's still to come.
They tell us pretty much they confirm what you see during the game. West Coast had plenty of the ball, but look at the entries into 50. Adelaide 57-42, and that's probably made look a bit better by West Coast in the last quarter. Adelaide won the ball. West Coast won it, but they went too wide and they seem to be looking for the boundary far too often coming out of defence.
Let's go down and join Neil Curley again. He's got Nathan Bassett, who had a terrific match tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Bruce. Well, no, that's your best game since for the year, I reckon, tonight.
Oh, by a long way. It's my first full game, and it was my first game at fullback this year, so it was something, reacquainted myself with the position, and, you know, it was a bit of fun.
Had a bit of a tussle with Scotty Cummings early, bit of body on body, but then you burn him right off.
Yeah, he's a very strong player, and you know, one-on-one he's pretty hard to beat. But you know, I was just lucky that our midfield put on a reasonable amount of pressure, and I was playing in front, and the ball just kept landing in my arms.
They don't seem to let you kick off very much.
I don't want to. I give it to Benny, so yeah, I don't mind not doing the kick-out duties.
And you like Benny alongside you? He's a pretty good ally, isn't he?
Yeah, look, Benny and I've played most of my footy next to Benny Hart, and you know, I really enjoy playing with him, and you know, giving him a few handballs, and he gives me a couple, and works out all right.
You've been in the club, what, 3 or 4 years now?
It's my 4th year.
4th year. How are you finding the intensity, the enthusiasm and the confidence of training?
Well, I think it's pretty good. We've trained pretty hard, and you know, I guess it's just our finishing. We don't really put away sides and just keep teams interested like tonight, when maybe we should have been, you know, 8 goals up, and then maybe West Coast dropped their heads, but we just kept them in the game, and in the end we only win by 2 goals.
Well done tonight. It was a great performance. All the very best. Back to you, Bruce. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Neil. First time that Nathan's played 2 games in a row this year, only round 3, 10 and 13. Did a good job on Clement last week when he kicked goals on Stevens. How were the votes?
Pretty tough, actually. In the end, I gave them to Mark Rashudo because I just felt he was the difference. He led so well, kicked 2 vital goals on a night the goals were hard to score. Ben Cousins, well, he was clearly West Coast's best. And then it was a toss-up between Ben Hart and Nathan Bassett, but I thought Ben Hart was so comprehensive over Phil Matera in the first half and attacked so strongly from defence, he got the vote.
Fair enough. So Rashudo, the 3 Bulldogs do stay in the 8. Crows didn't get enough out of this game in terms of percentage. They're up to 91. And Brisbane's percentage looking good. They've moved into 4th place, but plenty of matches still to come on this weekend.
Yeah, Adelaide will be just happy with the votes, I reckon, rather than the percentage.
Yep. So they're 7 and 7, the Crows. West Coast 3 and 11. Looking at the matches tomorrow, some good games. 4 really important games in terms of the final. Sydney play Carlton in Sydney. Who do you like?
Well, Carlton have been so good. Melbourne and Kangaroos, that's a tough one. The Kangaroos have got form, but who knows what Melbourne can do. Geelong and Collingwood at Colonial Stadium. I've gone for the upset here. I think Geelong might just... Collingwood might have a letdown. And Freo and Port Adelaide, well, Port, if they can start quickly, should beat Freo, but gee, they're due, aren't they, Fremantle?
They are due, that's for sure, but I'm a bit like you. I think Geelong have got a real chance against Collingwood tomorrow, and Port would be desperate for a win. So some good games. Tough old night at the office tonight for everyone, I think. I think Gary here summed it up perfectly, don't you?
He's got the points, he can say what he likes.
That's it. So Adelaide keep their chances alive. They're 7 and 7. Cornsey will catch you in a week or two. Thanks for being with us. In the end, the Crows by 13 points over West Coast. Good night.